And hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is LCW, Lights, Camera, Wrestling. I am Oz, the Alchemist.
And it's your girl, Lola.
Hmm. And to start off, how we normally start off, how was your week?
Long. It was long. It was busy as hell, but then it got good. I had a great weekend. I spent the weekend with friends, so that was that was a lot of fun. Really relaxing because I needed it. Friday was our end of the year party. It was Disney themed, and everyone, all teachers and everything, we had to come dressed in costume. Well, not costume. We had to wear looks inspired by who we chose. To be from Disney. I was Cinderella. That's my favorite princess forever. Um, and yeah, so the kids, played a part, the parents, everything. So we've just been preparing for that all week. I'm glad it's over. Only 4 more days left of school, and I'm out of there. But yeah, good, good, long and busy week. This should be a more relaxing. But how was yours?
Oh, mine was stressful. Had an unforeseen sickness. It's not major sickness, but like unseen sickness in the family that we didn't know what it was until we found out that it was basically just the stomach flu. But it was a really bad stomach flu. Um,
Are you sleeping?
huh?
Oh, I was gonna say, are you pregnant?
I mean,
Every time a woman says they have the stomach flu, and they're always like, "Stomach bug, girl, ain't no stomach bug, you pregnant." So for a man, when they say they got the stomach bug, I be thinking they got somebody pregnant.
oh,
You never know.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, so I've been dealing
Well,
with
I'm
that
glad you're
family
well.
member, and she's doing better.
That's
But
good. That's good.
but initially that was scary, and it did kind of like take over my wrestling time this week, except for Monday, and even on Monday I didn't really pay attention because Raw has been underwhelming, like I've been saying. But I keep catching glimpses of everything that happened on Friday, and then I caught glimpses of majority of what happened on last night, and I tried to go back and watch everything. But for the most part, I got the gist of everything. Um,
You need to go watch the full show. Did you see SmackDown?
yeah, I saw SmackDown.
You did because we were talking first. Yeah, but you need to go back and watch the full show. I do too because there was some bits and pieces that I missed that I want to be able to capture everything about what happened last night. I got the gist of it, but I really want to sit and like really watch it all the way through because it'd be stuff that we missed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm able to just be caught up with it.
Okay. So let's start with Raw. I honestly just want to cut through Raw and SmackDown and then get to
Hmm.
Money in the Bank and then talk about everything after. Uh so Monday night we started off with CM Punk and Zammy. Uh and they basically said we're gonna join forces to beat Braun and them.
Yeah, they don't even have a name. That's the crazy thing. They don't even have a name. I'm waiting for the name. But then again, you know what? Yeah, because when you
That
think
is
about it,
insane how I was trying to look for a name, but I was like, Braun and
yeah,
them.
yeah, Braun and them. And what's crazy is you said Braun and them, and I said them, and it's his group. Ooh, that should speak something to them. But yeah, they need to have a name for sure. Because we got the bloodline.
I can't
We
remember I can't remember if it was somebody else that I was like watching stream or it was on literally WWE, but I'm pretty sure they called themselves the Visionary or the Vision or something.
they
Okay.
don't have a name. They don't have a name, and that'll be the lamest name in the history of factions because he
Now,
already says he's a visionary. To
there
call the group visionaries is
there have been lamer
lazy.
names. There have been lamer names.
Be creative. But at least, they actually thought about it. This would just be too safe because
Yeah.
Seth already proclaims himself as being a visionary. So it's kind of like, y'all need something heavy hitting because when I really sat and I looked at them this past week, each superstar, that's wrong. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman. That really is a dynamic group. That alone or whatnot is amazing. We already know he's going to the Hall of Fame. That's just given. And then you have the future Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Like you got these two monsters, and then you have Paul Heyman, who is a legend. Period.
Yeah,
Like he's one of the greatest promoters, one of the greatest managers. Period. If not, and you know what? I'm gonna scratch that. He's not the great. He's not one of the greatest. To me, Paul Heyman is the greatest. He is. Anybody that he's been paired with, he's skyrocketed their career. I don't believe that Brock Lesnar would have been as big if not for Paul Heyman, because Paul being by his side, the way he would hype him up, Brock didn't do a lot of
because
talking.
Brock can't. Yeah,
So it's like
Brock couldn't talk for the longest time. So yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. But then I'm not gonna say he couldn't talk. The fact that he doesn't have to, he's a beast. He ain't supposed to talk. He's supposed to come up, show up, wreck everybody, and just go about his day. But Paul was that mouthpiece. I say the same for Roman Reigns. It's like Roman, my skills were mediocre until he was paired up with Paul Heyman. And then once that happened, Paul was able to hype him up to just this legendary status that it caused Roman to kind of, his talk was different. It was more slowed down, pausing. I'm going to let you go ahead and feel me out and, take in my aura or whatnot. And yeah, so Paul just makes everybody greater. Seth already has the mic skills, but Paul's presence and his just mind for the business is what's going to skyrocket Seth to that next level. So yeah, it's a great group. They just need a damn name.
Hopefully,
They need to
I
come up
mean,
with it quick because y'all have been together
it's
since
been
we didn't
2
seen this
months now.
happen after WrestleMania.
It's been two
Come
months.
on now, y'all ain't got a name yet. This is crazy. This is unless y'all just gonna go with, you know what, we're not gonna put a stamp on it. If y'all want to go as we're a group collectively, but we don't want to be not put in a box, but still looked at as individuals in certain aspects. So I don't know if that's why they're not doing it, but yeah, I'm not understanding the purpose.
Um, then after that we had Stephanie McCurry making her. You can't even call it a debut because she was already there before. But she
Well, no, her Raw, I would say her Raw really debuted because you've had other superstars even come from NXT and they, made appearances and did a match or two on the show, but actual contractual
yeah,
debut,
there we
yeah.
go. Yes, this is her contractual Raw debut that she is now on Raw. She came up from
hmm
NXT. She dropped her title to JC Jane, who I
hmm
definitely believed deserved it a
I have yet
while
to see that.
ago. Um,
Yet to see that. I have yet to even see. I have not been paying attention to NXT ever since what Battleground. Um,
yeah,
I
yeah, that
didn't
was the
finish
last one.
that. That's why I haven't watched NXT because I don't know. I still don't, and I'm glad I've been doing really good with avoiding what happened between the Trick Williams uh match. I've been doing real good with avoiding to see whether or not he took the title. I know. I'm so behind. I am so behind, and I plan to catch up. I'm gonna finish it tonight. I gotta finish it tonight so I can see what happened because I've missed 2 weeks of NXT because of it, because I haven't seen what happened. And clearly, I know now that Stephanie lost the title. Yeah, but that's only because she's on Raw now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have known, and I didn't know who she lost it to until they made the announcement over the commentary desk. So I'm just like, hey man, how she lose it? But I'm cool with it because now she's on Raw. But yeah, I don't know what happened.
so it was her, Ivy Nile, and Liv Morgan to get into the last spot for the women's Money in the Bank,
Mm-hmm.
and Stephanie ended up winning. Hell of a
Yes, yes.
match. Liv ain't lost a step. Ivy Nile is being showcased properly, thank God, because like I've been saying, we
Yeah,
need more women to be
yeah.
showcased, and thank you for actually
She
doing it.
deserves that. That was a
Um,
real good
and then Stephanie took it, and as she should, because she's the hottest thing, figuratively and literally.
match.
Um, and I don't
I
think
just,
anything happened
let's
after
just
that.
have a have a moment of silence for Stephanie. That's a cold woman. That's a badass woman. I tell you that. Like I just seen some cold women, but I'm even looking at wow, I'm amazed at even her shape. Like she's sure. I see why people be hyped over her. Cause yeah, you see that up close.
Man, after that, something we both don't care about. The War Raiders
What?
and Judgment Day went up against went up against each other, and the Judgment Day won because of Roxanne Perez. That's the only reason I cared about the match.
That's the only reason I cared about the match, to be completely honest. Like I know I talked my mess about Lil Roxy, but I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this whole angle with Roxanne and the Judgment Day and Roxanne and Finn. Because I'm gonna be completely honest. At first, I know that Finn was trying to push Roxanne to get a little closer to Dom, but I'm like, do I see some chemistry between Roxanne and Finn? Because I wouldn't be mad at it. But it's like, oh, okay. But then I have to think back, like, oh, wait a minute. Flashback. Liv Morgan came out there to help out Finn and JD in order for them to get the tag titles back and bring them back to the Judgment Day. And this is when Rhea was out for a little bit. Damien was still around, but yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, you might be doing a little, you know,
Yeah,
repeats
I don't know how I feel about
of
that
that.
because it has to deviate somewhere. You can't just replay this again and hope that it works just because it worked a year ago. It worked because Liv actually had beef with Rhea. Now you're trying to manufacture beef between Liv and Roxanne. Lord have mercy. Too many R names. Liv and Roxanne, and it's not gonna work. And it's obviously not gonna work the same way. And hopefully they don't try to force it to work the same way because why would you?
I think they're taking bits and pieces of what happened originally. The only difference is Liv is present. Rio was not. And it's kind of like you didn't have Liv trying to befriend Rhea. She was just on some, I'm on Dom. But with Roxanne, it's more so, I'm trying to befriend everyone. I want to be a part of the group. I'm just here to help. Like she tried to help Liv. She helped the guys. It's that whole thing. And I really hope that the difference is it gets to a point where they get along. And then she looks at Roxanne as an asset, and Roxanne turns on it because it's giving me nostalgia vibes from, I want to say 2000, 2001 with Stephanie McMahon, Trish Stratus. Trish was messing around TV wise with Vince. This is around the time where Vince was pretty much like he was done with his wife. Linda was in a medical facility, heavily sedated, TV. But yeah,
I
Vince had
remember.
interest in Trish, but claimed to be his friend. Trish wasn't feeling it until uh I mean, Stephanie wasn't feeling it until Trish had to kind of prove herself, to be an asset to her, the family, and all of that. She came out helping Stephanie in matches. Now they buddies, and it was that whole thing. And eventually, they had their fight. They had their first exchange of blows at WrestleMania.
Hmm.
So I'll be cool if it shows down the line of Roxanne gaining Liv's trust, and then they ended up becoming a little, a little close because you already saw that it drove not a wedge with Raquel and Liv, but how the finger was pointed at Raquel due to Roxanne's interference, even though she was trying to help. She said that Raquel is the vet. She should have knew better, and then she blamed her for her losing her match. So if it couldn't get to that, and if Roxanne chooses to use that as an angle, I'm going to do whatever I can to make Raquel look bad so I can pull Liv closer to me. Then I'm cool with that because that'll be a different angle, to try to work her way into the Judgment Day. And I don't know if it would be with her trying to get close to Dom or her being close to Finn and her just doing Finn's dirty work. If Finn is the person in her ear telling her what to do, you know. So yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
interested. I'm interested.
this
That's one
this
of the
ain't
good things about her.
this ain't too bad because it is. Yeah, like you said, that's one of the good things about Raw. And
Mhm.
the fact that it's still giving Judgment Day some life until they inevitably
Yeah,
implode. So I
Yep.
ain't too mad about it. Um,
Yeah.
and notice how we didn't say anything about the War Raiders and the fact that the New Day was out there. Um, After that, it was
Well,
Lyra Valkyria. What?
I'm not gonna sit there and talk War Raiders because to me they suck. I could really care less. New Day being out there or whatnot, that did slip my mind, but I'm still, I still rock with the New Day. I remember them being out there and they got sent to the back and they didn't do nothing. I remember that. Now that I was like, come on, man, why y'all sent? They ain't even doing nothing. But yeah, I love them on commentary. They're hilarious. I like them as
Yeah,
bad guys because the joke they crack, it's funny. So I'm cool with that. I'm just so shocked that the War Raiders are still around. Like, who cares? Who cares? I'm tired of them like feuding with the Judgment Day because I really feel like
is that? I think that's
nobody
the only
cares about
tag
them
team they
besides
got. That's the only people they got.
man. What you mean?
That's the only tag team they got. I mean, you
On Raw?
okay? They got the Creed brothers. They got Alpha Academy. They got New Day. They got the War Raiders, and they got Judgment Day. I don't know who else they got. They only got 5 people or 5 teams.
Oh, I thought like they got more. I'm just trying to remember. Ain't no, they on SmackDown. I was thinking about Santos and his group. That's SmackDown. They have other people. It's not clicking, but it's in my head.
I think
It'll come.
LWO is on Raw, but they ain't been
They
utilized
are.
other than AAA. And then I don't know why the hell they not sending Bronson and Braun on tag team missions. It's not like you finna
Well, they
have
missed
them.
the school as far as being. Well, you got to think they just started.
Well, I
They
get that,
literally
but it's
just started.
also not like you finna send one of them to go get the Intercontinental Championship right now. So you might as well have them do something if we're gonna make them legitimate as a team.
Not yet. Not yet. And this is why I say that. When this Seth's group gives me early evolution vibes, Seth already, Triple H is kind of his mentor. That's a given. And then when Seth first turned on the Shield and he aligned himself with the Authority, he was under Triple H's tutelage. Okay, cool. Um, so seeing Seth now in this element is definitely giving me Triple H all over again. It's like Triple H was doing well by himself once he left Stephanie, doing all of that. He was doing well. Same with Seth Rollins. He had the title, doing well. He loses it, and then he had his feud with CM Punk. It's kind of similar paths a little bit. Triple H came out of nowhere, and he aligned himself with Ric Flair. At first, it was only Triple H and Ric Flair, and Triple H was trying to. I don't know if he was champ at the time. I think that he was. I believe that Eric, when the World Heavyweight Championship was first presented again as the World Heavyweight Championship, because it was still the WCW Championship. They're just getting out of the Attitude Era and out of the Alliance Era, and I think that at the time, The Rock probably was the last person to hold that title. Um, yeah, until Chris Jericho won it and they combined the titles and that's how it became undisputed. So the next time they presented it as a championship for Raw, it was World Heavyweight, and it wasn't even a tournament. Eric Bischoff just gave it to Triple H. So Triple H was with Ric Flair, the same with Seth Rollins. We didn't see him with anyone; it was just him and Paul Heyman. So when the others started to get introduced at the time, Batista and Randy Orton, the same with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, um, the main focus was making sure that Triple H was getting his traction and getting established as you're the leader, and he needs to have some type of pull. So now with Seth Rollins, it's mostly focusing on making sure he's at least on that path, got a little, some
Okay.
notches on his belt before they started taking over. Because once that happened, once Triple H had that title and he was cool and he was dominant, then uh Batista and Ric Flair took the tag team titles. Then Randy Orton took the Intercontinental, and they had all the belts. So I
They
think it's going to go
they have
into
Paul
that.
Heyman the tag team title.
Well, no, they wouldn't do
I
that.
would cry laughing.
But that would be that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. But that's the only thing. They would just because there's only three of them, and I was thinking that like, would they add a fourth member? Because Paul is really just the manager. He's the wise man. He's not a wrestler. Like Rick was still he was that, but he was a wrestler at the same time. Um, and to be completely honest, the person that I thought, and I don't know, I still feel a little worried. I don't know why I keep thinking Sammy is gonna turn. I
because
keep
it makes
thinking
the
that.
most sense in wrestling
Yeah,
logic. Like he was the first
it
person to get
does.
jumped, and this whole time, like he's stringing everybody along, thinking, and Carrion was like, "You're not a good guy."
Hmm. That was the stamp for me. That's what it was. That was the stamp. When Carrion talks to him, and it's kind of like that Sammy really couldn't deny much of it. He just kept trying to make it seem like I'm not like you. Yeah, you are. You have a history of that a little bit. Like, yeah, you are. But it wouldn't surprise me. It would be, I knew it. I knew it. This is just we're just waiting it out. And I know that he's still gunning for it, but he couldn't because he can't gun for the World Heavyweight Championship because that's what Texas path is. So yeah, okay, that might not happen. But yeah, I think that's why they're waiting to put Bronson and Braun in the mix for like the tag team championships because they're trying to make sure that Seth is well grounded on his path to become champion. So
Okay, I guess I'll take that. Um,
yeah,
After that, we had Lyra Valkyria and Becky basically yelling at each other again for the second time, and basically this is where we got
I wasn't mad.
the stipulations for their match, in which if Becky wins, Lyra has to lift her hand. And if Lyra wins, Becky can't challenge for the title anymore. Um, okay,
Um, I was cool with it because this match to me is all about ego. I felt like it was all about ego, and for Becky, it was all about putting Lyra in her place. Becky truly believes that it's kind of like if it wasn't for me, you would not be where you are. You wouldn't have a career. You wouldn't have a career. You wouldn't have a fiance. Becky is in her thank you Trish era. You're welcome. So it's like for you to sit there and you want to brag about beating me twice. Good job for you. You beat the man. But at the same time, you will never be able to sit with me. Your accolades are nowhere near mine. And I think that's where Becky is. And to be completely honest, I can relate on a personal level, and probably you too. When we look at this younger generation and we see these teenagers, so these kids that's in the early 20s, and the how disrespectful they can be and how entitled they can be. We look at it like being your age before, like we ain't looking for like a big ooh bow down to us, but have some respect at the same time. Like y'all kids compared to us. And with these newer kids, it's kind of like, well, this is a new era, and we doing this and all of that, but you wouldn't be where you are if not for, you know, the
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 people
the
that came
vet,
before you.
the people that came before you. So, go ahead and not pay tribute, but just have the respect for it. I'm not saying that Lyra didn't have that for Becky, she did, but when they lost the titles, Becky looked at it as Trick, I came back to help you. You called me because you didn't have anybody to help you get this title. One, you being greedy because you already the Intercontinental Champion. Why are you even trying to go for the tag titles? But me and you have some things in common. We built a nice little relationship. You call me, and in life, you're to me a rookie, and I'm who you look up to. I'll come and I'll save you. And she did. I helped you win tag team titles. You mean to tell me the next night after I helped you win, I didn't get pinned? You did. That you couldn't have your first defense, you couldn't win? You lost? Now you embarrassed me. Now you kind of wasted my time a little bit. And I know Becky was looking at it like, I've done this before with a couple other women, but I've done this with you multiple times and it was no issue. Like, but now you let me down. Now I'm embarrassed. I just won the titles last night and then I lose them the next night. Now I gotta put hands on you because what is this? But yeah, I like the little war of words that they were exchanging with each other. I thought the stipulation was reasonable.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad at it.
Okay. After that, it was Jey Uso and Zammy versus Braun and Bronson. And
They did.
yeah,
Yeah, they did.
yeah, and it ended
Yeah, they did. They
ended in disqualification because Steph stomped the hell out of Jey Uso.
didn't he? Didn't he? Came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. Stepped on some different time, and that man wearing jewelry now. He got that gold Seth Rollins chain. I said, oh, that's a different cat now.
Yeah,
He
he feel
definitely did
himself.
come in.
He feel like a boss now. You know, after
Yeah, he
Roman
does.
left.
He does.
Um,
Hmm. Okay. Let's call a spade a spade. I mean, I've never not liked Seth. I've always
yeah,
enjoyed him,
like
even being the world heavyweight champion. But he was his own guy. Now, and this is us being not biased, because we rock it with the tribal chief. But however, these are facts. Ever ever since Roman has left, Seth, you are trying to, it's like you're a bootleg tribal chief.
uh, and
And,
I
like
and
he
I want to
was.
say something,
Like,
but we got to hold off until SmackDown
yeah,
cause
yeah.
that got
I
addressed.
know you said it. You know what you nothing better to say, because it did. And when it did, when I tell you, I just have to throw my hands up and just walk off. Like, well, at least somebody said it, because we see it. And now it's getting to the point where it's like you got the man bun like him. You out there, folks, with standing like the man, like all of that, even waiting for the crowd to seemingly acknowledge you. Come on now. Come on now. Like Roman said, my little brother Seth Rollins. You want to be like Big Brother so bad, huh? Wild.
After that, Kyrie Sane went up against Raquel. Liv tried to get involved. EO came out to stop it, and that was it. And Kyrie won. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much else to say about that other than obviously it's looking like Liv's back on the road to getting the women's world title. I don't know if Rhea and EO still have business to settle, but that probably is going to end up either as a three-way or something.
I believe that they do. I believe that they do. And I'll be okay with that, with, Rhea settling her issues with EO, but later down the line, because I really like the alliance that they have with each other. I like the fact that EO has I don't want to call her a friend to me. I don't want to say that she's a friend, because
That's
I
what they
don't
are. That's basically what they are. It's like
I
a
don't
friendship,
know.
but it's like I'll beat your ass for that title though. We cool, but I'll beat your ass for that title.
Yeah, because it's never really any beef. Like we saw during War Games, the relationship that was starting to build between Rhea and EO. And again, I believe that with those two, it's not personal.
Right.
Rhea's just like, whoever's holding this title, I'm coming for it. But she respects EO, and we saw that the last time that they tagged with each other, they worked well together. So I don't think they're gonna throw Rhea to EO just yet. I believe that they have to build something, because she interfered in the match. So EO and Liv, they're gonna have to have some, matches and war of words and issues with each other, because or it's gonna be a tag team. I can see that. I can see that happening. EO and Kyrie versus Liv and Raquel. If it's for the titles, that'd be crazy. But I don't think they're gonna give it to us just yet for the titles. But I can see that happening. That happening between them. And in some way, form, or fashion, I can also see Roxanne Perez interfering and helping them win. And that would start gaining her trust with the Judgment Day, at least with the women, because the guys don't got a problem. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they got a problem. Dom got problems with Finn. And Finn got problems with Dom. So you can't say
But
they.
Dom doesn't have problems with Roxanne.
Oh, I thought you said that the women don't are going to have you. I'm pretty sure I just heard you say the women don't have problems, or the women have problems, and the men don't have any problems. I'm like, no, they got problems. Not with
No, no,
Roxanne.
no. I'm saying that, no, I'm saying with Roxanne, I
Okay,
said that the men don't have any problems
then
with
that's my
her.
bad.
But she has to gain the women's trust,
Yeah.
because they third eye, like, forget
Well,
that. Like,
well, Dom should have problems, but he don't, and that irritates me.
when did Dom even really have problems with Liv?
That's what I'm
Low
saying. He
key,
should, but
he
not everybody
should, even when,
has morals.
because even when Liv was coming around, he was with Rhea. Dom liked the attention. At first, it was like, hey, gone somewhere. But then later, it's like, come on, you wearing my vest. Any other time, you should be able to, hey, take that off because Rhea got that custom made for him and you're wearing it. It wasn't until Damian Priest yelled and was like, I'm trying to get my vest back. He taking it down slow on her. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Dom be acting too oblivious. You know what's going on. But Liv a little more crazier though, especially when it comes to Dominic. Like Rhea was dominant.
So she
Liv is
actually liked him.
crazy.
She actually liked him. I don't know. Rhea didn't
Yeah,
feel like
because
she actually liked him.
no, she did. She did. She cared about him. She definitely did like him because she did it. I just recently seen the video of what happened after SummerSlam when Dom chose Liv over her and he left her. And Rhea crying, all of that. She was definitely heartbroken because we've seen that even when she came back and Liv was still trying to shoot her shot, how emotional she was getting until Dom cussed her out. And that's when the whole she licked his face. So we was like, okay, cool. She do. They just have a different type of chemistry. It was more so Liv put Dom up there. Like, that's not just Dirty Dom, that's Daddy Dom. And I'm following his lead. It was that versus Dom was following Rhea's lead. And it's like, no, I'm gonna put him up there as far as he's the man. Like Bubba Rhea, he was the boy.
And I think
So
that's why I like Liv more than I liked him with Rhea. Because
I
one
liked
makes more
him with
sense than the other.
the reason why I say this is because when Dom came, he was with Ray.
Yeah.
He was still looked at as a little boy, as Ray's son. Versus when he got with Rhea, he was still looked at as, he was calling her mommy, but it was more in some type of weird dominatrix way where she was building him up to be a man.
Yeah.
Was standing up for himself because he wasn't standing up to his dad. He wasn't making his own decision. So when he got with Rhea helped Dom gain his confidence to be like, forget that. You don't need your father. You are a dominant Mysterio. You can win championships. You can do all of that and build your own career and not pattern it after him. You don't have to be Rey Mysterio's son. So Rhea helped him in that way. Liv was just like, okay, I'm just solely focused on you. I really care about you. It's all about you. I'm catering to you. See, he wasn't Rhea looking at it like Rhea's too dominant. I ain't catering to you, but you gonna cater to me. And he was cool with that at the time. But when he started to see something a little different, Liv was more softer, uh, sweeter to him, all of that, jumping on him, kissing on him, all stuff like that. And he liked the attention. So yeah, our first time us even seeing affection between Dom and Rhea was when she licked his face. Because I'm a hopeless romantic, so I like to see the affection part. And like you said, that's the reason why I did like seeing Dom and Liv together because it wasn't a I'm bossing him around thing. Dom was finally being looked at as the man. And it seemed like it was a genuine connection with those two. Like Rhea and Dom, we knew they were together, but sometimes they just seemed like homies. Like it was like that. Like they got each other's back. It was more so like that, even though that was her man. But it's more a relationship with Liv and Dom. Hell, the event they were at last week on the
Yeah.
Kiss Cam, and they kissed. I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah, they're gonna keep them together for a while, and
Yep.
I rock with that.
Yep.
Hmm.
So after that, we had. It was upsetting for me. I'm not sure if it was upsetting for you. Um,
Well,
but Chad Gable got his way
you
into
know what?
the Money in the Bank match, and while the match
Grande
was spectacular, and Chad Gable is definitely deserving of every opportunity that he gets because he is a great wrestler and he does need more opportunities. He he got into the match over AJ Styles and CM Punk, and I'm not
who
thoroughly happy
who
about
who
that.
got into the match? Who got into the
Chad
match?
Gable,
Chad Gable was not in that match.
Chad Gable was definitely in that match.
Let's be respectful. Grande Americana, like you said, Chad Gable is good enough to be able to see the recognition. Why does Chad Gable need to hide behind a mask? Let why does he need to hide behind a mask to like hide himself when he is a great wrestler, deserves the opportunities, all of that. But if this is in fact
So he can
Chad
cheat.
Gable,
So he can cheat. That's why. Because
that's
the
right.
only
Because Chad
because
he
he
was
put
cheating
he put
before.
the mask on, then put the little thing right here, in his forehead, and then he headbutts people so he can cheat. That's why. That's easily why he decides that he wears a
No,
mask.
no, because that just started happening. When the Grande Americana was first presented to us, there was not the plate in the head thing. He was just out there winning. So Chad Gable could easily, he's smart. He can easily find a way to cheat, whether it's using the Creed brothers to come out, a denial, a weapon, distraction, anything. This is not Chad. What is Chad gaining from this? Because it just doesn't make any sense. Don't get mad because it's just two great,
I'm not.
equally
I'm
great
not doing this.
people
I'm not doing this with you
that are
because
technical
that's clearly
wrestlers.
it's clearly Chad Gable. I'm that
Until
that
he is unmasked, that's not Chad
that
Gable.
is a Caucasian male.
If you
That is
look on
not
WWE site, there's two people. There's Chad Gable on the roster and Grande Americano on the roster.
that is
Two different
clearly
people,
a Caucasian
two
male
different music.
with a mask on.
Grande Americano doesn't speak English.
What?
Chad Gable does. He doesn't even speak English. Chad Gable does. He just comes out, you know, that's his thing. He just leaves. I'm
Either
sorry with
way,
the slam.
either way, either way, he won. He won the match, and then Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk got their ass
Uh-huh.
whooped by the
Oh.
group with no name. Um, and good.
The unknown. The unknown.
The null and void. The not
You know
applicable.
what's funny because if you remember like on like the WWE like the video games like 2K games you created like your character or you create a group
Mm,
on one of the names you can choose from is the unknowns. So I feel like that's what we're gonna name them from now on because they don't have it.
that's fair.
They're the unknowns. Yeah, yeah,
So they
that's
did
real.
their thing. They destroyed everybody, and then that was the
Man,
end.
didn't they hold
Um,
them up? I'm thinking, all right, Jay, go ahead and super kick somebody. Nope, it was spear after spear, then the tsunami. And I'm just like, why y'all not coming out there with weapons?
like
Where are the weapons?
y'all seen
These are
Bronson. Y'all see Bronson, right? Y'all see 330 pounds of Bronson, and all y'all are together almost are bigger than him.
I don't get it. You see that? You see the quickness of Braun Breaker. He get ready to spear, throw a chair at that man. Like so,
Well,
they just sat there and
wear
just got
bulletproof
whooped. It was
vest, like
scary.
Bret Hart did.
That was a sad time. Brett should be ashamed of that. He should never did that ever in his career. That was just it.
Either way, then we got SmackDown, and the Bloodline met up with the Unknowns.
Yeah, huh? Oh man.
The
It was
Unknowns and the
good to
Bloodline
see
kicked off
because the
SmackDown.
promo that stuff was like really good. Until he said, "There's no one that can stop," and you
And
just
you
heard some
know
drums beat.
damn well, you came on
Look at
SmackDown and said that the Bloodline. You can't even call them Bloodline no more because the only two people related is Solo and Jacob. Um,
you, okay, man. The unknowns versus the unknowns. This is crazy.
yeah, so they needed a new name. But yeah, and Solo was like, got yourself a bloodline. Solo
Uh-uh.
is increasingly becoming my favorite character on
Fact,
WWE because
fact.
they
That
let
man
him be
said,
funny.
who you supposed to be?" Right here, man, Jay Uso. When he called Bronson Reed the honorary Uso, I was floored. I'm just like, sir. And then even Bronson Reed, he made him break character. He made him break character. See, Braun or wasn't was able to hold it. Bronson was like, because they have a relationship outside of here. But that was funny. That was funny. It really was. But he did make a good point though. You were just with me at War Games. We were just fighting alongside each other, and now you're going to line yourself. He said, it was how he said, with this guy. I
Like
like
I
it when he
was,
said this guy because he did it to Roman one time too. He's this guy. I like it when he says this guy. It's hilarious. It's like then he looked at
Solo
Paul.
ain't missed.
Paul was like so shook. He said, "And you got yourself a wise man. Long time no see, Paul." Paul was about to break up. He had a flashback going through that table. You saw Paul's face. Paul was put up. poop on himself because that's when they had to like stay in the block call because stop playing with Solo. You know he's still crazy. But for it was the rebuttal that Seth had. He proceeds to call Jacob Solo's what?
I didn't appreciate that
I
personally
I
because
didn't either. I was like, that's bold. He was
are
bold
you
for that.
sure? You sure he can whoop your
Yeah.
ass too? Like what? You
But he know it. He was trying to poke the bear. He know it because he even then then you went on to say that there's only one Fatu that pretty much y'all should be afraid of, and it's not Solo because as soon as it was the standoff and Solo and I think it was Braun, yeah, were like face to face. Jacob moved him out the way, and now you face to face with Jacob, and then Seth was just like he knew. As soon as Jacob stepped up, go back and look at and hear what Paul Heyman said. Paul Heyman started screaming, "No, don't do it! No, like no, don't mess with him. Don't bag up. You'd have bet your match." And Seth knew he had to step in between. He tapped him. It's time for us to go. Time for us to go. Because this man is a one man wrecking machine. We didn't see it. And the fact that he's the only person I know that can sit there, bulldoze somebody through a barricade and hop back up. Like, what type of. I don't want to fight him. He crazy.
as hell.
You just did a backflip and you still ain't got. You caught an RKO and you got up. Who does that?
Didn't we say that Jacob was the uncle
Not really.
that you eating with, and you just gotta keep your head down and eat.
Yes.
Don't make eye contact.
It just makes more sense because I know, Jacob had like a rough past. Jacob, locked up and everything like that. But them uncles that be institutionalized and they get out and they been gone for a minute and they sitting there, you don't want to make eye contact with that uncle. I don't care. If I meet Jacob in real life, I ask for an autograph. I swear this is going to be me. I don't want to look at him. I don't. I don't want to trigger him. He may see my blonde hair and I didn't trigger something from his past and now he
Man,
want to like
man,
destroy me.
forget that.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look him dead in his eye. Train me. Teach me.
Teach
You
me
are
the ways.
literally you
And
are literally the wrestler that I created when I used to create wrestlers on video games. The big man that can do everything.
yeah, yeah, he is. You know what's crazy when I think about it? That's who I see you be like similar to. Like if you would have ever like dabbled in that, like yeah, that's who I can compare you to.
Now, admittedly,
Like
I ain't doing no moonsault. I'll definitely hit a swanton though.
Jacob's intensity with Solo's like comedic skills. I can see that because that man is on a roll. That man is on a roll. He's definitely become one of my favorites too. And I never saw that coming. I did not know he could be
Solo,
this damn.
no, no, and I think that's the key thing. You need to let people
Yeah.
have a character. All he was just a body
Mhm.
for the longest,
Yeah.
but now you let him have a personality. He's a star. Who
Yeah.
knew? Us.
Who knew? Yeah. 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 We did. We kind of did. But that had to happen with. We saw it happen a little bit, but when Roman left, that's when it really started to pick up. And then, but it was real intense and serious in the beginning. But he had little moments. But now they're all hilarious when you think about it.
All of them.
All the way stemming from who was the ringleader of the comedy when it comes to their family.
Jimmy. Oh, Rikishi. Oh, Rock.
Yes, Rick Hensey.
He was funny.
When
Okay.
it wasn't until
I was
later.
also 6, so I thought, big guy putting his ass in people's faces was funny. I was 6.
No, that's not funny. I mean, it's funny, but it wasn't something that he did for fun to be funny.
But yeah,
It
Rocky
was
is
more
hilarious.
something.
I don't think
Rock is
Roman's funny though.
no,
Roman ain't
no,
funny the
no,
same way everybody else funny.
no. Roman's funny, but Roman's serious. But that's Roman's personality in real life too, because Sammy even attested to that. Like Roman was a serious one, but I think the Usos bring out his fun. So it was like The Rock kicked that off, and The Rock been there ever since he's been this character, The Rock. Like that's been his whole career. He's just been on the mic. One nobody touching him on the mic. And to be completely honest, I still don't think nobody's touching The Rock on the mic. It's just easy for him. It's natural. So Rikishi in the beginning of his career, Rikishi didn't talk. That's where they get that from. Like he didn't talk. He just came, did what he had to do. He was out of there. He didn't start getting more vocal until he was with Too Cool, and then later down the line is when he started talking a little more and becoming a fun loving, funny character with the dances, with the certain things he say backstage, like what you gonna do? Put back this ass up on him. Like it was that. So later down the line is when Roman, I believe him being in the bloodline a little bit, he had his moments. But Jimmy and Jay from the start, they've been funny. But when I look at it now, I start to see Solo being little brother. He reminds me of like Jimmy in a way, like with his comedy. It's so funny because to me, Jimmy's the funniest. Jimmy's the funniest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's even when he used to do like the they leave him hanging, the handshake he used to do it by himself, and the stuff he was doing when Jay left the group that he was doing with Roman, and it's a thing when they backstage and Roman was like, uh, that Jimmy's supposed to do stuff, and Jimmy said, I'm on the injured reserve list. I can't do nothing. And Roman sat up and said, what? I'm off the injured reserve list. I can do something. That's what I thought. Like, yeah,
But and speaking of Jimmy, he had a match after this with JC
yeah,
Mateo.
yes, he did. But that was, are we on SmackDown now?
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
we are. Yeah, that was okay. Sorry, had a brain fart. But yeah, he did, and it was even how it happened, right? Literally right after the segment between Solo and all of them, and it caused some issues though, because when Jimmy first got in the ring, he kicked JC, and JC fell into Jacob, and then they get to exchanging words, and Solo had to get between them, like it was accident, because JC started going off, like he mean it was an accident, and
Man,
then
please.
Solo is still trying to get Jimmy to join. But it was that's why I say he's so funny. When I'm watching it, he was telling Jimmy. He was Jimmy laying on the mat in the corner. Solo like, I'm trying to get you to come back to the family. Come back to the family. But no, you want to get your ass kicked. You want to get your ass kicked. You don't want to come back? All right, get your ass kicked then. So
I don't.
he's just naturally funny.
Okay, and to that point, I kind of want him to. I kind of want him
Jimmy,
to. Yes, I kind of want him to go back
I
with
do too.
Solo.
I do too. I really do. I really want him to because imagine them two together.
I mean, and then I don't
Especially this
know.
this version of Solo.
I don't know if I want Jimmy to necessarily be heel when he goes back with Solo. If it happens
Hmm.
like now, but like Solo can kind of almost come out of being a heel. The only thing that would hold him as a heel right now is the fact that he has to ties to JC Mateo and he has to go up against Jacob, and Jacob obviously is going to be the face and the favorite of everybody in this match.
So he has to be.
So
He
he
has
kind
to
of
be,
has
and
to be the
because we
heel.
know that JC can't be your face. Not right now, at
Not
least.
right
He's
now.
already been established as becoming a heel. And like you said, with Jacob's new face turn, um, JC is already looked at as the enemy. So
Right.
ain't nobody rocking with him. So it's like it'll be a minute. It'll be a minute. But yeah, it the work between them would be hilarious. Like like that time when Solo almost cussed. And Jimmy was like, oh, and then Solo had to like say in character, he yeah, had to shake it off. Like, all right, because they're brothers. And I can't imagine working with my brother, especially my brother Gabe, and working with him, and now we're supposed to be enemies on the show, going back and forth. That man gonna make me break character every time. It's gonna be a Sammy and Jay moment that I'll be Jay Uso. I gotta turn my head because I'm really trying to fight back the laugh. Because don't nobody know you like the siblings know you, and it's like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
uh-uh.
So all that happened, and then Jimmy ends up picking up the win, and
Yep.
we move on to Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. Uh,
I'm
didn't
not gonna lie,
really. You said
it
what?
was alright.
Yeah, and
It, I, I'm I'm gonna give it to little Zelina. I'm gonna give it to her.
I
It
was
was
in
a
and
good
out
match.
on this match because I had to take care of family. But
Hmm.
I did come back to see the end of said match when Julia showed up
Hmm.
to take out Chelsea Green and Alba Fire, and then dropped Zelina. And I was like, okay, I'm cool with this.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, turn my light on. But yes, I was cool with that. Um, I was a little nervous for her at the same time, just
For
because
Julia,
Piper's a big girl.
oh,
No, Selena. I thought Piper was gonna squish her like a bug.
nah. We know she was gonna keep a hold on that title and keep her streak going because you can't just have the champion consistently get her ass whooped. So she was gonna stay on a winning streak. But this thing with Julia, we know Julia's gonna take that title, and that's
I hope
kind of
not.
sad to say.
I hope not. I hope not. Only because, and I ain't even a big Zelina Vega fan, but this being her first championship and her working as hard as she did in order to get to where she is right now, I don't think they should take that away from her no time soon. And Julia being a newcomer, I just don't look at it. That's not fair. You're not gonna have no rookie come in, and I've been working real hard all these years. I haven't really had a big thing ever since. I don't think she became tag team champion or anything like that.
Well,
Um,
you
I
know
think
what,
the last thing that Selena won was what the
Queen of the
women's
Ring.
Queen of the Ring.
I think
Yeah,
I'll take I
and that
think
was
I'll take back my
clean.
statement. I think I'll take back my statement. She's not gonna lose it to Julia, at least not right now. But if Julia was Stephanie Vaquer, that would be. Oh yeah, she getting that title. I would say
Yeah.
that, but it's Julia. Julia is great, and Julia has all the potential in the world to be great.
Hmm.
But she's not finna take that title right now. She ain't got enough
Hmm.
steam behind her to do it. So yeah, I'll take that back.
No.
If it was Stephanie though, if it was Roxanne, all day I would say yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. After that, LA Knight and your man, Aleister Black, they had a match and that didn't end well because
It did not because there was interference involved for
yeah,
no apparent reason. But then again, I think about it, and I
the
think the
unknowns.
interference definitely. It just seemed like Seth was attacking everybody that was involved that were going to be involved in Money in the Bank match. I
Yep.
think he was trying to put everybody on notice, or whatever the case, whatever. But I hope he knows that you have made an enemy out of Mr. Black, and that is not a place you want to.
I am absolutely thrilled. I want to see that match. I ain't even gonna hold you. I want to see that match
Yeah,
right now.
because not. I'll be cool to see it. I would be cool to see it. I definitely. I mean, it it'll put asses in seats. I tell you that. Seth versus Alistair. Man, you saw how when Alistair stepped up to him, that Seth was kind of like the only reason why it was you got people with you. They helped attack him. Cause what is it called? The Black Mass? Yeah, that kick would have came out of nowhere. Steph, you would have been late.
Smooth. Um.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. After that, we had Tiffany Stratton come out. I can't remember what exactly. I want to say she was getting interviewed or something along them lines, or saying that I don't know what happened, but Rhea came out.
Well, no, so she came out. So she came out originally because she was addressing the women that were involved in the Money in the Bank match,
There
and
we
she
go.
pretty much explained that briefcase don't mean nothing. That
Tiffany,
briefcase
you
doesn't
only
mean nothing
have
to
that
anybody.
because of it.
But this is why. Do you see it now? This is why I can't rock with Tiffany Stratton anymore. I thought that she was decent in the beginning, and I was liking her. But then when she went on to how she won it, and then her attitude after she won it from Nia by snaking, you kept saying, and Charlotte was right, like you earned it, you worked hard for this. No, you didn't. You aligned yourself, and you thought it was better to align yourself with a dominant champion like Nia because you did not want to be her enemy. You befriended her. You're throwing her all these different, parties and blah blah all of that because you want to make it seem like, oh, I'm on your side. You're the queen. I'm the princess. You didn't believe that. You buttered her up to find the perfect opportunity to do what you did. You took all of Naya's mess and the stuff she could say to you because again, you had another mission in mind. So Slick, yes, but for you to go out there and try to make it seem that doesn't mean anything or try to bash it, if it wasn't for that, you would not be champ, Tiffany. So let's not even go there. And that's why mommy had to come out and shut that down. Cause who you talking to? Cause what?
Yeah,
Huh.
because
She didn't
yeah.
have that same tune. Her whole face
And,
changed
and
when Rhea
and
beat
and here's
it.
the thing. This led into the women's match. But here's the thing. If Rhea had won that championship, right? I'm not the championship, the
Hmm.
Money in the Bank. I
Hmm.
don't want to see her and Tiffany fight. That's not a match
Who
I want
said
to see.
who said it's gonna be Tiffany? Rhea don't give a damn about that.
I'm saying if she
Rhea's
did,
pretty
I'm
much
saying if she came out to confront her and she won the Money in the Bank. I would assume that WWE would be like, oh, this needs to happen. This is what needs to happen. Like, no, I don't want that.
no,
I'm cool.
because you already know who's gonna win it. And plus, I would it needs to be some type of traction there, and they wouldn't do that just because well, he's on. I mean, you can cash in on anybody, so I
And
don't want to say because
that's
of
kind of something I want them to play with
different
moving
shows.
forward with the Money in the Bank. Like, I don't want you to have a beef with somebody. I want you to just snake whoever you want to snake at any one point in time. I don't want there to be like a built up beef behind it if it's literally just Money in the Bank and you can jump anybody at any time.
No, and not a literal beef because I look at how Big E won his. He didn't have a big beef with Bobby Lashley at the time. It was more so I'm putting y'all on notice. Stop trying to act like I don't have this. So it was more I'm gonna put fear in you. So yeah, you think you safe, but anytime you have a match, I need that to be in the back of your mind or whatnot because I'm not the champ, but I got the next best thing, and you need to be watchful of me because I'm coming for it whenever, to keep your head on the swivel. So I think it would have been that. She would have been definitely playing mind games with Tiffy, but not enough to like take her title. Rhea is like, no, the women's world championship, that's my baby. That's what I want to get back. Damn that other title. This is the one that I want. This is the one I work hard for. And that's the only one, she's been really trying to capture because she's like, I made that title what it is. It's a women's world title because of Rhea. She was the first holder. So she like, that's mine. So I ain't letting go of that. So that was her main goal. I think that Rhea is just tired of again the entitled girls. And it's kind of like you coming out here talking all that mess, like this briefcase don't matter, but like she told her or whatnot, you wouldn't have that if not for the briefcase. So why are you out here for real? Like, I need you to go. You're supposed to be getting ready to watch to see who you need to keep an eye out for. But coming out here on some cocky stuff, girl, bye. Bye. Tiffany's not my favorite person, right? I
And
still feel like Tiffy, Charlotte whooped your behind at WrestleMania and they just let you have the win. So you need to go take several seats, go away.
and after that, the match was all the women in the Money in the Bank match. It was Stephanie Vaquer, it
Hmm.
was Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss,
Hmm.
Naomi, uh, Roxanne. I'm pretty sure I already said. If I didn't, and then Julia.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so all of them. And yeah, it was interesting. At the end of it, Naomi left, just up and left, and Roxanne got her ass whooped. At least that's what I came in on.
Yeah, I was a little shocked at that, but then again, with Naomi's character right now, I'm not too shocked at it. But it was like, dang, why you gonna do that, girl? Gonna
Because
leave her out there?
I need you to have your ass whooped for tomorrow.
No, no,
I need you to
because
have
right
your,
now it's not about
I
tomorrow.
need you to
We're
get
in,
your ass
we're
beat for tomorrow. I need you to be
no,
sore. I need
we're
you to not
we're
be able to climb ladders. I need you to be
we're
hurt.
in the match. We are in a match, and you just get up and just walk up out of there. She gonna
Absolutely,
tell
absolutely
sure.
makes sense to me. After that, it was Penta and Andrade, versus American Made. Uh, didn't even see that match. But apparently it ended with Rollins stomping Penta out, which makes sense because again he was attacking everybody. Um,
I saw it. It was decent. They actually worked very well together.
Penta and
Penta and Andrade.
Andrade.
Yes, they
Uh,
worked perfect together, like perfect together. So that's a match
so I'll
that
have
I
to
would
see that
recommend
one.
you go back to watch. And I say you would definitely it'll have you glued. You'll be interested in watching it because that was a really good match. And the Creed brothers already they don't fight the Creed brothers. Who the heck was they fighting again?
American Made. It was the Creed Brothers.
Yes, okay, I'm right. Uh they already I love them as a tag team anyway. I've always loved them. When they first came on the scene, I was just like, oh, they thick boys, and they're good. So I'm never disappointed when they come out because I like them. It's like I like Chad Gable, I like the Creed
Yeah,
brothers. I like to see Ivy now
yeah. You
fight.
you
They're
definitely like Chad Gable for sure.
you know what? Just dirty mouth. Yes,
Anyway,
Chad Gable.
and the last segment of the night, I unfortunately missed because I had to tend to a sick family member. But I know John Cena came out, Logan Paul came out, Jay Uso and Cody came out. They had exchanged words, and Cody and Jay ended up getting their ass beat.
And you missed all of that.
Yeah, for the most part.
Oh man. Oh man, that was something great to see. Not even gonna lie to you. Um, it
You know what?
definitely
I'm
was
kind of glad I
like,
did because we know it's documented. I'm not a fan of Logan Paul, so
but it wasn't mostly about Logan. It was that whole segment between the four of them really had me wondering about the company as a whole, and then really dissecting everything that John Cena was saying. John Cena has been saying ever since he won the title back that he's going to ruin wrestling. We know that.
yep.
Um, he has been winning matches in ways that he's never won them before by cheating. He doesn't care. He's just like, I'm here. I'm keeping this title. I'm the last real champion. It is what it is. You guys don't get no music. You don't get no nothing. So when I really start to think about the storyline and then the reality of it, he's been saying that Logan Paul becoming a champ would ruin wrestling. But I don't think that Logan Paul is really understanding that John's saying that Jay, you can listen to a YouTuber and calling Logan the future. It's not a compliment because he keeps saying that the last real champion is leaving, and that pretty much when that happens, the company is pretty much doomed. Like a YouTuber gonna hold this, and I don't give a fuck because I mean, a crap. Sorry, but I'm very passionate about this. I don't really give a crap because I'm gone. I'm gone. The last real champion is gone. The last title holders of the greats that held this championship that leaves with me, and you guys are stuck with this. Um,
This
I want to
facade.
say the social media champion, the social media megastar. It's that. So have fun in that era because this era with the last real champions is over. The title that Triple H and The Rock, and he's running down the list of people Roman Reigns has won. That whole that era is done. And I started to think he said that he kept repeating it. He kept looking in that camera and saying he needs them to understand this. And then I started thinking, like, wait a minute. None of us saw our truth really being released. We just didn't see that coming. Carlito being released. People that have gave a lot to this company that are vets are being released. In a weird way, it's like, was John trying to forewarn us that
That
it's not a
TKO is
story?
messing up everything, probably.
Yeah. You know how I'm looking at it like, is John just going off a script because he is John Cena and he's trying to let the people know wrestling is being ruined? What you thought that, like, it's not going to be the way that it used to be anymore.
Because you had the backlash of our truth being released. I, I don't understand why there wasn't as much, uh, a much of an uproar about Carlito being released too. But
Because because
I know we loved our truth more, but still, like somebody could have gave a damn a little bit about Carlito. But it is what it is. But
I'm
let
not
me.
going to say they didn't because I did see a sign or two in the crowd and then even Dom wearing the shirt to represent Carlito. So I'm not going to say they didn't care. I think that because we don't see Carlito in a lot of
The same
segments.
way we see
He'll
our
be
truth.
backstage the same way we see our truth, and then our truth has been involved for a minute. Like when Carlito came back that year to help out um Bad Bunny when he faced Damian Priest that year, the crowd went nuts for Carlito. So it was like we love him. We know that he's there. And we've been saying it here multiple times that we need to see more of him. And then when the Judgment Day breaks up, we want to see him venture off with Dom and all those things. So Carlito gets much love on this show. But our truth was so I think it just happened out of nowhere. that it was just like, wait a minute, he just did a segment on Friday with Jimmy, and they were calling each other family.
Right, and
And I'm
then he
like,
gone
okay,
by Monday or by Sunday. Like that is insane.
he just
But
had a match with John Cena. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is happening right now? So
but back
it
to
just
my
didn't make sense.
yeah, but back to my point of TKO ruining everything. Like you got rid of R-Truth,
Mm-hmm.
you got rid of Carlito, you got rid of a slew of wrestlers, and now they're clearly struggling to create matches because you only got
Braun
so many
Strowman.
people. You got so many people to work with now because you got rid of a slew of people because you're making budget cuts or whatever. Like you're not making billions of dollars, and then the
That's
backlash.
why I'm confused.
Hold on, hold on. I'm sorry. And then the backlash of the fact that you let them go, and then you also are rehaving WrestleMania in Las Vegas again.
I don't even want to, I don't understand what's happening right now. And to be completely honest, I'm not even about to blame people. I keep saying Triple H, Triple H. I'm not doing that
We
because
can't keep
Triple H is
saying
the head of
Triple H because Triple H is the head of
creative. You
WWE,
can't. He's
and
over creative. He's not the head of the business. TKO owns it.
right,
So
that's what
they
I'm
have
saying. That's what I was
he
gonna say.
it's kind of like Triple H got to go along with what they saying. He's just over
Right,
creative. He just got. So I hate to think he's trying to bash him. It's not him.
and I feel like
It's
they
not.
don't. I feel like they didn't know the deal that they were making with the devil. Like I feel like that's what they didn't know what they were doing. They thought, oh, well, they got the UFC and how well that's doing. We can make more money with them and get all this promotion and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, it's like you see what's going on. That everything is not good because one, you got the Netflix deal, cool. Now you have to consistently point out all of the sponsorships consistently. Michael
Yes.
Cole pointed out the Boost was it? It wasn't Boost Mobile. It was Cricket. He pointed out Cricket like 5 times in a match. Like, would you call the damn match? It doesn't matter about the damn sponsorships.
This has
We're here to see the
never
wrestling.
been before. The only time this was going on is when, and they had the same sponsorship when I was a kid during the Attitude Era. They came on commercial when they used to show after the commercial break. They would show the sponsorship for Thacker. It was Thacker too, and they used to have the energy drinks, the pills. Sometimes you even had the wrestlers in commercials. But then it would cut the screen and it would show the wrestling recap. But the recap was sponsored by Thacker, so that was just it. Cool. Everything else was just wrestling related. To see all these sponsorships in the ring and even seeing them and Money in the Bank, it ticked me off. They put a sponsorship on the damn briefcase. It was Cash App. Why? Why? It's Money in the
Like
Bank, and
who
it's like they
who
had
how much money do
like
y'all need? It's clear that it could
they are
not be.
broke. They're going broke.
That's what I'm
Clearly,
saying.
y'all just being greedy, and this is just crazy. It got
With
to a
all these
point
with
even.
all of these people that keep showing up to the shows, you're selling out whole arenas. You're not. It's not like I'm sorry AEW, but it's not like your AEW. It's not like your TNA who are working in smaller venues and aren't selling them out as much. If
Thank you,
so,
thank
it's
you.
like what? Why do you need all of this money? Why do you need all of these
They,
sponsorships? What are
I
what are you
don't get it
trying to
either. You
prove?
know, Helen,
Are you
you
trying
guys
to
are the
make
biggest
legitimate?
promotion.
You said
You
what?
guys are the biggest wrestling promotion in the world, and it has been that way for over like 2 decades. I'm not understanding why all of this extra is happening. You guys just finished WrestleMania. Y'all should still be pulling in money from that. Crazy. I mean, the
T-shirt
shows, the
sales,
multiple pay-per-views, back to back, the
merchandise.
t-shirt sales, all of that. For one, when y'all went through a rough time, who pulled you out of that? The tribal chief Roman Reigns. So y'all should already been good after all of that. So I'm really not understanding it. And now it has been talks that his contract, his salary is being
Reduced.
shortened as
But
well. It's being
I
reduced
did
as well.
I saw that, and this might be the one thing I do agree on because you're
Right.
making $15 million a year.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're not doing anything though. You're doing is showing up for big moments and then going away again for months at a time. I don't
I'm
think
not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
he's
And this
doing
is
it
why.
right now.
This is why. No. This is why. And because he broke this down too. He said this during the press conference at WrestleMania. And people he mentioned that people are always saying, like, well, Roman takes a hiatus and blah blah or whatever. He was like, it's more to it than that. This is what y'all see on camera. He said, when you don't see me, I'm still working for the company outside of here. So yeah, my pay is definitely legitimized. He said, because that don't stop. You just don't see me on camera because it's the way the storyline is
But
going.
what is he
He said,
doing?
but I'm still doing things. He don't really have to say much of what he's doing behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on,
I'm
what he's
saying if
doing,
if
what
you
he's
are
doing
working
behind the
behind the
back.
scenes, if you're working behind the scenes and you're like creating matches, cool. If you're doing, I guess, press, but we ain't seeing a whole lot of you doing press. Um, you going off and doing movies. How is that for the company? I mean, I guess you could say
Well,
like,
not
hey,
really for
WWE's Roman Reigns was in this movie, but like, unless you're like in the back doing like production work, what else could you possibly be doing?
well, he is involved in the movie that's gonna be out soon. But yeah, but he was saying that it's still stuff being we won't know until we get there. And like I said, it's a lot of moving parts. Not everybody gets to have the camera time. And right now, what's going on, as far as the storyline, he's not in it right now. So it's like he's still working. So people they said that he was saying people be thinking that he's on vacation. He said, I'm not on vacation. I'm still working. I'm still doing stuff for the business. We just don't see it. So I don't want to take that away from him because it's stuff that we don't see. It's stuff that's not coming.
Honestly, if he is doing stuff, cool. But 15 million for anybody, I feel is crazy.
You said what's crazy?
15 million for anybody is crazy. Not just him, just anybody in general. $15 million to do what you do, I feel is crazy.
Not really. How much you think these NBA players get paid?
They like I said, 15
And they
million
and they
is,
don't even have physical. They don't even have physical contact with each other.
and like I
They're
said,
just playing
15
ball with
million
each other.
dollars for anybody is crazy.
I don't think it is because I'm putting my life on the line, and then I'm putting my body and all of that, my mental health, everything on the line. I'm leaving my families, all the type of stuff. And then on top of that, Roman also he's dealing with he's in remission, but I look at everything that he's worked for. He was already in a company for over 10 years before he even started making this type of money. So you the top dog. I didn't held the company down for 5 years consecutively. 5 years, just ongoing or whatnot. Heck yeah, I believe that I deserve that because that was a lot, especially on his health. We don't see what happens behind closed doors. He could be having a whole breakdown. He could be sick like Michael Jordan was in that game, but I still have to go out there and cut a segment. Somebody give me water, give me some towels, make sure I'm good. Okay, let me go out here 15 minutes, say what I got to say. I come back there. You don't know if he like I'm exhausted. Like my body is shut. I can feel this. So I say with him, yeah, it is. Because even him not being around, Roman is still OTC. OTC, you hear them chants. People still buying the merch. He is one of the biggest stars. Somebody asked me yesterday, who's your favorite wrestler right now? Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. I've never seen anybody like him, the aura that he has. Like, it's like in unison. As soon as that first music drops and you just hear that doom, and he coming out, everybody on their feet, fingers in the air. He's in his rock era, and it's just starting to take over. It's even people who don't even watch wrestling. I wore his hoodie last week, and I walked past someone, and they was just like, Roman Reigns, yeah, OTC. I saw you watch it. No, but I know who he is. Hell yeah, he deserve it. He definitely do. He definitely do. And the company that's worth billions, 15 million ain't nothing.
Well, clearly they ain't got billions because they got all these goddamn
I don't know what they doing. I feel like they on some Vince type stuff. Like y'all got the money, but y'all trying to act like
like
y'all
what
don't.
are we
Y'all not
doing?
going broke.
But let's
It's
get off of that
crazy.
because we gotta talk about Money in the Bank.
Yeah, yeah. We do,
Um,
we do.
so Money in the Bank had 5 matches. One of them was
One
impromptu
impromptu,
because
one impromptu match. They
I
had to
didn't
fill
watch
it.
I didn't watch AAA. I'm going to later on. But yeah,
You didn't
that
watch
wasn't on
World
my
Slide?
plate. No, I didn't.
I didn't
Um,
either. I started to get into a little bit. I saw a little bit of it in the beginning, but then I turned it off.
and it's free on YouTube, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch that
Yeah,
later.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it had 5 matches. It had the women's match. It had an Intercontinental
Hmm.
Championship match with Octagon Junior. I have no idea who that is necessarily. And then we had Becky and Lyra's match. Then we had the men's Money in the Bank match. Then we had the tag team match featuring both the world champions and Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes.
Tell you,
Um, So all of that, I initially going into it, I wasn't too hyped about it. I was kind of
Yeah,
like, y'all have had like back to back. Uh, I know it's not a pay per view, but like Saturday Night Main Event felt like a pay per view, and then we had this like right after. So it's like, okay, I'm kind of fatigued a little bit. This is probably gonna irritate me. But I was wrong. I'll admit it. I was wrong. This was actually a good ass PLE.
yeah, it
So
was. Yeah, it was. I didn't. We felt the same way going into it. I wasn't too hyped about it. Only hype person thing I was hyped about was seeing my man. You know, because always with mommy. That's the only reason I was hyped for the women's match in the first place. One for mommy, and then Naomi, and then they always put on a hell of a show. That's the thing. The women never disappoint. The
never.
women never
Last
disappoint.
year was
So
fire. This year was fire.
I got to go back and really watch it because I felt like they could have. I felt like it wasn't as lit as last year.
Oh yeah, no.
But again, we didn't have as many. Last year had more high flyers and stuff like that. That whole thing, like Little Women. But it's like this one was more about they. It was more dominant women that were involved in this match. Um, but yeah, I wasn't too hyped about it either. I just wanted to see John Cena whoop on Cody Rhodes, one more time. Um, but overall, I am not disappointed. Yeah, definitely kept my interest, and it's a real good PLE for sure.
So
They did their
started
thing.
off.
They did their thing.
So it started off with the women's match, and
Like it always does. Every
all of
year.
them, all of them, all of them, just phenomenal. Uh, Roxanne
For
and
sure.
Alexa hitting the cold red on the ladders, off of the ladder.
Oh my gosh. I was like, what? In unison. Then, then it was Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan hitting their finishers same time. Sister Abigail, Riptide, and then it was the look that they gave each other. I'm like, could I see them working together? Kinda, kinda. Like I think that would be kind of cool. Um,
And then Stephanie hitting
yeah,
her move on the ladder. I
I don't want to
was,
talk about it just because of the person that she hit it on. So,
yeah, I'm sure. Um,
because if you think about it, and I meant to say this to you last week, um, that Stephanie put me in the mindset of Rhea, but a different version. They had a lot of similarities, and I said, man, I would love for them to
tag team
like,
or fight.
no, hit it out. Tag team, yes, tag team was definitely my man, but I would love to see them just go up against
Yes,
each
that
other
needs to
in
be
this
a thing.
segment. Yeah, when they were backstage, and it's so weird. I've been saying this before, at least to me. I've been saying this every time I see Stephanie on screen, back when she was still in NXT, that she gave me just reminders of just glimpse of Rhea. And I'm like, man, if they were able to hit it off or tag together or even fight against each other, that'd be cold. And after Stephanie made her debut, won her match, she's backstage and runs into Rhea. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and that needs to happen. Like the minute
Mm-hmm.
Rhea gets her title back, because she's gonna get it from Io at some point. That needs to be the
Mm-hmm.
match that comes after.
Yeah,
After
that.
after Io
No,
gets
that
her rematch, and then it needs to be Stephanie.
that'll be a hell of a match. That will put me in a mindset, definitely a good match like Rhea and Charlotte. It'll be up there because they're both amazing. And Stephanie can go. She can go for a minute.
And
Like she
Stephanie
doesn't
had
get,
three matches this weekend, back to back, Friday, Saturday,
man,
and then
back
Saturday again.
to back. How you fight a worlds collide and then have enough energy to fight again? Don't ever question Stephanie's work ethic. That woman went from being pretty much in the indie scene last year and now you're mainstream. Like she is phenomenal. I love her. And this is why I don't think I want to see them face off probably just yet. I would like to see them as a tag team. I think they can work out pretty well with each other. But yeah, she's great.
So all that being said, the proper person ended up winning because she needs to. For the
Talk about
storyline that
moving
she's
up.
on right now,
Oh,
the trajectory she is on, she needed to win this.
you
Naomi
don't say.
is
You don't say.
Miss Money in the Bank.
Hmm. What you say? I was talking to my imaginary friend. He said, really, Oz, because we could definitely have sworn that you were pulling for Miss Roxy to win this
First
whole time.
of all,
Yeah.
I always have two people. If it's a match of
Mhm.
6 people, I always have 2 people that I want to win. I
Okay.
knew Stephanie wasn't gonna win. I knew
Uh-huh.
Alexa Bliss wasn't gonna win. I knew Julia
Okay.
wasn't gonna win. Rhea could have potentially won, but I didn't want her to win. So it was down to Roxanne Perez, the hottest new what's it called? Signee on Raw, and
Mhm.
Naomi, the hottest thing on SmackDown right now.
Mhm.
It just so happened Naomi got it.
Okay. Okay. I give you that. My two people, you already know who I was going for.
Rhea, Naomi.
Yep.
So we both
Just
happy.
because I felt like mommy in the bank just sounded right.
Yeah.
It just sounded nice, and I believe it would be cool. But I love the fact that Rhea is in her era of I know the star power that I have, and I know what I could bring to this match to make it even more. Because come on now, that's more eyes on the match. It's Rhea. She has never been in a Money in the Bank match, so every time she come out, the crowd go crazy. So already, okay, put her in it. Cool. I like that Rhea's like I'm established. It's cool to let other people get their shine because I've already been there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm cool. It takes because it takes a lot to be the champ. You're always on go, and Rhea did that for well over a year. So it's like I get to take a step back and take some a little break or whatever, and let somebody else get their shine on. But now that I break it down and think about it, when I saw Naomi win last night, I didn't think that she was just because when she pushed them off, I'm like, she was going up kind of slow. And then she kept looking to see who was coming. And I think she was more so like, yeah, it's just me. Ain't nobody getting up. I thought somebody was going to get up.
What?
I thought Jade was going to
What?
interfere.
what if? What if it
I
was like
thought,
what if it was like that time I want to say Eddie Guerrero was like on a ladder or something and he had to do something and Vicky was supposed to show up and she just didn't or like it took her forever to get out there. It was a story that Eddie was on a ladder trying to do something and Vicky was supposed to run out but it took her forever to get out there. So I'm thinking, what if that happened with Jade? Jade was supposed to be out there but she was like in the bathroom or something and Naomi just ended up winning.
that's funny. That's funny. Because Vicky did end up coming out. That was the match that he had against Rey Mysterio for the custody of Dom. Um, and then that's when Vicky did end up coming out and was a distraction. And Eddie had to calm down and address his wife. Um, But yeah, I thought I was gonna hear the music or if Jay was gonna come in. Like, no, girl, we still got beef. Like, what you say, you got beef with me, we got beef forever. Okay, cool.
Oh,
We're
I
still
love
on
that.
site. We
I
can see
love that.
you, and you ain't. I love the fact that she used my best friend Cardi B line. I found that very, unique and valid. I also thought that I know that Bianca's hand is not doing too well, but Naomi, you got in my face. You made a threat. You brought on my mama. Okay, cool. You ain't getting no shots. So I really thought between those two people somebody was going to interfere, but when they didn't, and I saw that she was up there and she unhooked it, I said, you know what, girl, get your get your 30, your 40 acres in the mule. Get your thing, because you deserve it. You're right. You are a vet. Since you've been back, you've been, helping this new age of wrestling. You have been a tag team champion with Bianca, yes, but as far as singles, you deserve it. And I think that this is definitely going to be interesting to see her fake cash in, to see her walking around just being a menace. I know that she's going to design the briefcase and it's going to have caution tape all over it. It might even have some blood on it. I don't know. We gonna see because
She definitely gonna hit Jay with that.
man. Oh, you think she ain't? Oh, you think she ain't? And this is just gonna be so cool. I don't know who she would cash in on, but again, she might just cash in on Tiffany because it's like that's my belt. Like, so I'm proud of her. I'm happy. She definitely deserved it. The press conference was hilarious. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I did. That I did see.
When she was talking to Big E. I like the fact that she was getting emotional because just her being her or whatnot. She really started thinking about when Big E thought said that they came in at the same time and watched her grow and watched what she's contributed, and then the crowd even saying you deserve it. She definitely started getting emotional, and I know that can take a toll on you. You feel like you've been working so hard, but you have not been getting the recognition, or you haven't been getting the the applause that you feel like you're owed because you've done so much. And to have somebody else new come in, and it's like it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. I paid this way. So for her to still stay in character and told them to shut up, say, I don't need it now. I don't need y'all. You deserve it. I don't need that. So that just make you love her more because they start cracking up when she said that. But yeah, Naomi's on a roll.
Yep,
This is where her career needs to be, and it's on the right track for sure. I'm proud
absolutely.
of her.
Then after
Yeah.
that, we got the Intercontinental Championship match with Dom and Octagon Jr. It was
Hmm.
cool. Um,
It's cool. It's
Dom
cool.
won. Uh,
Yeah, and he better have one. And he better have one. 'Cause I ain't gonna lie, that match was, yeah, that guy, he quick, and I'm just like, Dom, I'm gonna need you to, your daddy a luchador. I know you tall and all, but you better catch this little dude. Like, what the? You better not lose this title, Dom. I swear, if you lose this title, I'm done with you for sure. Like, no. So I'm glad that he was able to. It's crazy because Dom has not changed nothing about himself. He's still a menace. He's still a pain in the butt. Like, but the fans rock with him now. Like him beating him up, and yeah, they interested in what the other guy was doing, Octagon, and he doing his thing. But then middle of the match, Dom gets on the turnbuckles and do his muscle thing like he always do in the crowd, cheering for him. I love that because he never expected that. It's like
I don't understand how he got over this quick over this past year. I don't understand how he literally screwed over Rhea Ripley, and now he's like a
he
fan
screwed over.
favorite. I don't understand how it works.
Rhea, he helped screw over Damien. It's like
Well, he got my vote after that.
he's done all these things, and he's still, he's still the man. He's still the man, and I rock with him because of that. I do. I mess with him. He cool.
After that we had Becky and Lyra, and that was a solid
Mm.
ass match. It was a solid match, like it was always going to be,
Yeah, it
because
was.
it was Becky Lynch and it was Lyra. Um,
She hit that
Becky,
manhandle slam off the top turnbuckle, and I was just like, I
yeah,
know that hurt. I know that hurt.
and Becky
But it
ended
was
up
the way that
winning.
Becky won.
Yeah,
But how did she win?
she cheated. Um, she grabbed the
I don't really
tights.
want to say it was a cheat.
She grabbed the
She
tights.
grabbed it a little bit. She grabbed it a little bit, but she won. And then what did Lyra have to do? Raise it.
Raised her hand.
Lyra is a sore. I say, Lyra, stop being a sore loser. You
Did you
lost.
call her a scrub?
I didn't, but she can be that. She's correct. Um,
First of
see, she
all,
just be don't be a sore loser. You gave her you get it shouldn't have taken Becky telling her to do it.
first of all,
Because you gave your word. You lost.
she first of all, you cheated to win.
You should have been.
Let's get that out the way now. You cheated to win.
I don't look at that
So
as
I'm so
cheating.
I'm so
I
so
look at it as a cheat.
so I'm hot. I'm hot that you cheated. So
Why?
I'm hot that why am I mad that you cheated?
She didn't cheat.
She did. So she cheated, and then so Lyra got up and she was mad, but then she rose her hand. She did. She did what she was supposed to do.
Becky told her to do it. After Becky told her to do it, she
Becky could have gave her a minute. You just lost the title. You automatically finna raise somebody's hand after you lost the title.
you just the referee just raised my hand. It don't take you that long to get off the ground. Get up.
First of all,
Get up.
first of
You
all,
come
okay,
raise
okay,
your
okay,
hand.
hold on, wait. You fighting somebody. They whoop your ass. You on the ground. You pissed that they took the title from you. So you finna get up automatically and just be like, I'm gonna raise your hand. No, you gonna take a minute. So she took her minute. She got up. She raised her hand. But then here was the problem. Becky decided that she wanted to be greedy and that she wanted more recognition. So she had Lyra raise her hand to all four corners of the ring, and
Mm-hmm.
that that was unnecessary because that wasn't part of the plan. That was not part of the
Hey,
established.
I didn't
Uh,
how. I didn't say how many times I told you to raise my hand. I said you need to raise my hand. You're gonna raise my hand.
and you know what? That's fair, and that's why she got dropped. immediately.
You know what? She got dropped because Lyra is a sore loser, and you mad because you lost against the man. See, this is why I say, and you already know, everybody that watches our show already know, I'm not even a Becky Lynch fan, but I respect what she has done. And I was never a Lyra Valkyria fan until Becky had to push her to be better. It's always Becky the common denominator when it comes down to Lyra's career. So I'm just going to say that you definitely should have been raising her hand because you wanted to brag how much you beat her. I'm going to beat her again. I'm going to beat her again. Okay, well, you did it. I don't care how she won. The fact is, if you're so good and so quick, you should be able to get out that maneuver, scoot out of there, however the case, because she didn't really get a good handful of tights to roll her up for real. Her hand was just right there. You could have kicked out if you wanted to, if you had the strength to kick out, but you lost. Whatever. Raise that lady's hand like you gave your word to do. Stop acting like you got an attitude about it because I'm pretty sure if you would have won, it wouldn't have been no all. Now she would have rubbed it in her face too. You can't challenge for this title no more. I beat her 3 times. I ain't got nothing else to prove. I would have been doing all of that, and you already know it. But it's like, okay, well you did it. You lost. Be a woman of your word, and now you want to put your hands on her. You mad? You mad for what?
Okay.
Like that's to me, that's the entitlement of
This
it
what
all.
this what
Like
no, this what we do. We fight. And then let's not act like this ain't what we've been doing. Like we fight for a
all I
living. What are
know
we
is,
doing? Yeah, I'm gonna drop you in
all
the
I
middle of
know
this
is
ring. That's what happened.
for what? For what?
For
So you
overdoing your
dropping me
part.
for
For you overdid your part. You overdid it.
I'll say as far as doing the hand raising, she didn't overdo her part. It's when she told her to put the belt on her. I thought that was taken a little too far because I'm like, okay, Becky, she raised her hand. Cool. You wanted her to put the belt around your waist,
Yeah, and she got German suplex and
like
then hit with a Nightwing. Absolutely.
yeah, but that was just like, okay, well, guess what? It still don't take away from the fact that you are no longer the champ.
That's cool.
So
That's
go,
cool. She
so
she
going
get
back
she
to
get her
your nest,
rematch.
bird lady. Going
She get
back
her
to your nest,
rematch. It's
bird
cool.
lady.
Um.
And Becky gonna whoop her again. Just saying.
Anyway, after that,
You
it was the
know,
men's Money in the Bank match. Um. Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Penta, Solo, El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, Andrade.
you keep playing with me.
It was a hell of a
That's
match.
not Jagged. That's
Um.
not Jagged.
It was a hell of a match. Um. I had to watch bits and pieces of it, but I did see all the important parts, or at least the most important part to me. You got any highlights
What?
that you
That
want
was
to
a
point out?
decent match. Yes.
No, I
I'm trying
missed.
to
I
remember
said
what
I
the
missed it because I missed bits and pieces of it because I can't. I had to keep running in and out of the room. But I saw the most important part
yeah.
to me.
Oh yeah. Well, you need to go back and watch the full match because that was a
I
really good
absolutely am.
match. Um, for sure. But it was Penta hit the Mexican Destroyer on the ladder.
Oh, I saw that.
I
I
was
definitely saw
really
that.
very. I was had my mouth open for a minute. I was watching it with my friend, and
He hit on
she
Andrade,
was
right?
just like, "Yeah." And I was watching with my friend and her boyfriend, and she's just like, we're both sitting there like,
Why? Wait.
"Wow."
Why are you in shock? We literally saw that. We saw Roxanne and Alexa do the same thing,
It,
even though
it,
it's more of a pile driver than it is a power bomb. But like it's the same move
it,
basically.
but it's harder when it's to men. It's rougher. Like with the women, it's like, okay, man, but when the men hit it, it's like they head kind of go through the ladder, and you like, dang, like when Cody did that
Right.
to
Okay, I see what you
Kevin
did there.
Owens, remember we was just like, Kevin dead. He's not alive him. He's just sitting there, leg over his
On
head, and Kevin didn't move.
on paid
He didn't
TV.
move
On paid TV, we just saw a murder.
on paid TV. I was just like, they kept Sammy ran over to, and we knew it was concerned. We knew it was concerned. We just didn't think that it would be as crazy as it was because he really did. It was that's why he's out now. Kevin did have spinal compression
Well, that was
issue
but he had that
going
beforehand.
on.
That wasn't that probably added to
Well,
it, but he had that
I'm pretty
beforehand.
sure that added to it. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that added a lot to it because to go through
because
your
your
head
head,
goes through
because it,
the and you hit the floor. It See, with the women, it was like, okay, they did, but they're still on the ladder. He did, and he fell through the ladder, and you hit the floor, and your legs just stayed there. So I'm like, yeah, the women, the women be cool, but the men can do the same thing, and it hit a lot harder. So when Penta did that, because when the women did it, they didn't do it so quickly as they usually do. It was like they were waiting, and the opponent who was getting it, who was on the receiving end, you knew what was coming, so you had time to brace yourself. When Penta hit this, it was so damn quick. It was like, oh, you think you good? Bam. It was just popping. I'm just like, really? I could not have been a WWE superstar, man or woman. This is why. If you ever think you about to put me in a ladder match, you got nothing coming. You got nothing coming. I'm about to be on some. I didn't call an injury like, oh, I'm sick. Like I got bird flu, so I can't. I can't even show up. I can't even do it. Put somebody else in the match. I wish I would get there to the and they got like the board and they got the matches and you Lola, Lovins and ladder match. Yeah, no. I'm turning right back around my bag. I'm leaving out. I'm
But
leaving
but
out.
Lola, you scheduled you scheduled for a match tonight.
Life happens. You can't
But
schedule. You
but
can't get mad if my
you're
body's saying I'm
here.
sick. But I got there and I threw up.
But you but you're we're here. You're here right now. We talking to you. You didn't throw up. We saw you coming to the building. You didn't go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I came into the building and then I had to run out because I didn't want to embarrass y'all. So I ran out to the parking lot and I threw up and I'm just like, you know what? I gotta leave, go back to the hotel. So I called Nick or Adam from like my
But
limo because I
but
gotta
but
because he's sick. So get
but
somebody else to do it.
we saw security footage. You didn't. You just got back in the car.
Hey, I threw up in the car. I didn't
That,
want y'all to see that. Okay.
what?
Yeah, I'm sick. I am sick. Matter of fact, I got you one better. I will show up to the arena, see my name on the board, and I will pass out right there. I will bite my tongue, make it bleed out of my mouth. I will fall and just start falling. They're like, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? I can't do this. I can't be here. I gotta leave. Something's wrong with me. Take me to the hospital. Something's wrong. And then Michael Cole got a state of announcer. Lola Lovins was expected to, fight tonight, but she, something happened. So then I pressed to her. She rushed to the emergency room. Don't put me in a match like that. I'll be in any match. You got me in a match with some ladders, uh, any type of what? No. See, a fall start anywhere, I could mess with that.
You said any type of weapon, so you can't be in the
I
straight
could
rules at
use a weapon.
all. You can't
Yes.
be. You can't
I could be
tables,
in the
chairs,
extreme
nothing.
rules. I could be in like a fall count anywhere match just because you could use weapons and stuff like that. But you want me to be in a ladder match? That means I have to climb the ladder to grab something from the briefcase, like grab a briefcase or whatever is up there that I have to get. My opponent can either push me off, do anything. No, if I'm grounded, I can take a weapon and hit you with it as well. But I can't be somewhere, but the end goal is I got to climb up there and I have to risk being thrown off, being power bombed through something. Please,
Hey, look, man.
please, I
WWE.
quit.
She said that she can't do it. I personally will jump off a ladder.
Do your thing, Jeff Hardy. Do your thing, man. You think you Jacob Fatu? You go ahead. You go out there and prove it. I am Paul Heyman.
Speaking.
I would not be on top of any ladders. I'm not doing none of that. I need to be grounded. I am there to support. I am there to help you win. I'm there to cheat. I'm not there to fight. Like I'm not doing none of that. I remember when R-Truth had tried to come at Paul Heyman, talk about throwing him over the top rope in the Royal Rumble match, and he was out there with Brock Lesnar, and he said, "I know you're a big man," and he thought he was talking to Brock. He said, "But you still go over that top rope." Paul Heyman, Paul Heyman looked like I'm not in the match. That's me. I ain't here to fight. I'm here. I'm here to be an advocate.
But
So
speaking
be a wise woman.
speaking of Jacob Fatu, he he came out there when everybody else
He
decided to
did
come
come
out there
out
and
there.
cause problems. And
Let's not talk about that just yet. Let's talk about Solo's comedic skills during that match.
oh, the Penta walk.
When I tell you that man did you see what he did to LA Knight? He was doing all of them. He was doing that, and then if you read his lips, he said, "Out of here." Like he was wilding. My man was wilding during the whole match.
Give
It's when he came into the ring and he was talking mess and the other ones were surrounding him. You didn't realize it. Like
Give
Solo was cutting up.
give Solo all the titles you don't give
Now
Jacob.
here we go. Here we go. Give Solo all the titles. Here we go.
Give Solo all the
Let's
titles you don't give Jacob.
man look, cause Solo was the MVP. He was the MVP of that match. He was MVP of the night. He had me on my toes. He had my stomach hurting. He is so funny. Like he brought comedy to a match that is extremely serious. Why are you being comedic during this match? But it's Solo, so it's like okay, I messed with it. Now we can get into when Jacob came out because first of all, we can't even cut into that yet because we got to talk about what happened the night before of why Jacob did what he did.
Ah, yes, we
We
did.
missed
We did
that.
miss that part.
We missed that.
Yeah, there was a '90s moment. There was a '90s sitcom moment involving Jacob Fatu.
The music, it made me think of like Hannah Montana when it was like a sad moment, and then the music would hit. Whoa, yeah.
Whoa. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
so basically, Solo was talking to JC Mateo. I hate saying his
Yeah,
name.
I
Um,
really do too.
and they had a conversation, and basically, Solo was like, "Man, Jacob's dumb. He don't know nothing. He all gas, no brains. We
I
got
hated it
this."
because the way it started when JC was going off and he kept saying it's going to be okay. Jacob was going to, like his position. And when he was like, Jacob loves me. I know he does. Like, I love him. He loves me. So I was like, okay, Solo's on his side. It's kind of like he's taking up for Jacob. He's cutting JC off from like talking mess about him. Then he said that part, and I'm like, Solo, no. No, because I knew what was coming. I'm like, I guarantee Jacob is hearing this or he's watching it somewhere or it's going to get played and next Friday we're going to see it. But why would you say that? Then when they walked off,
Dun, dun, dun,
they
dun,
said,
dun, 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 dun.
whoa, yeah. I said that in my head as soon as he turned the corner. Or I heard the, oh.
And he
That
came
was
out.
a moment, but it was more like a, damn it, Solo. Well, you're not winning. I knew that from sound. You ain't winning.
Not at
Jacob ain't
all.
going to allow you. But Jacob came out and Jacob was whooping people for him. So I was like, okay, maybe Jacob was looking at a bigger picture. Maybe he's like, you know what? You said what you said. We're family. We'll address it another time. But you know what? Go ahead. Go on and get that briefcase and whatnot. And I want you to even think about trying to cash it in on me or anything like that. Like I thought that he was going to allow that. I really did because Jacob to me, Jacob just seems like a big picture guy. Like and the relationship that him and Solo had, I'm thinking that they were gonna he was going to really replay all that in his head and not do what he did. But I'm kind of glad that it happened the way that it did because I got to make you think I don't know nothing. This was some Batista Triple H type
Yeah,
stuff
you
when
think I'm stupid?
Batista
You really
overheard.
think I'm stupid? Nah.
Yeah, when he heard Triple H talking mess with Ric Flair backstage, and Batista like, "Oh, you want me to go and sign over after he won the Royal Rumble and go to SmackDown because you don't want me to challenge you at WrestleMania for the title? Oh, I got something for you. Okay, I throw down the Raw contract, you to throw to SmackDown, and then it went to that. Yeah, you got me messed up. And when Jacob was out there destroying them, set the ladder up for him. Come on, man, get in here. Solo like, I got this in the bag. You see this? He just kept pausing, looking at the people. It's his facial expression. Like, what? Ain't nobody stopping me. I got this. Him climbing up there. Then he hugged him. He hugged the man before he climbed up there. Like, yeah, you got my back. I got this. Man, and he tried to climb up and grab his ankle. He was still reaching. I said, you know what? Give Solo a raise. Give him a raise because it shouldn't be this funny. It shouldn't be this funny because the whole arena is just cracking up. Like he not realizing somebody got my ankle. He looking at it like, why I can't reach it? Why I'm not getting up there? What is that? He played too much. He played too much. We see that Jacob looked up at him, and what did he tell him?
I hate you.
I hate you, Solo. Oh my God. It was like, well, there goes the end of an era because when you first got introduced a year ago, I love you, Solo. And for him to say, I hate you, yeah, Solo, you done messed up. Now he had to take you out. Had to take you out
He had to
and
do it to
take you
you.
down.
And it's nobody's fault
Man,
but your own.
it's nobody's fault but your own. I wouldn't have seen that coming, but then again, heck, I didn't see Solo as much as we said Jay was the right hand man to Roman. But we know at the end of the day, Jay was always gonna rock with his brother. That's his number one.
Yep.
So we saw that coming. What I never saw coming was Solo turning on Roman because his loyalty, regardless that Jimmy and Jay are his brothers, we looked at it like we think he gonna rock with them.
That's the
Especially
craziest part.
after,
That was always the craziest part to me.
yes,
How you gonna go with this?
yes,
I, we
y'all
we
first
came out
cousins, yeah, but
we came out the same
the
room.
same room, the same room, womb to the tomb. We are blood brothers. You're our baby brother, and you're gonna choose
You
over
our
what?
cousin?
Solo. Solo looked at the bigger picture. I love you guys, yes, but that's why when Jimmy and Jay first left the group, and when they saying that Solo was gonna be the one to leave, and he told him, "I love you, my tribal chief, but these are my brothers," and he was on the side with them. It was like, oh dang, it's over with. But then when Roman acted like he was taking them in, he hugged them. He looked at Solo. Solo knew. Boom, loyalty, tribal chief. He looked at the bigger picture because it's like y'all my brothers, yes, but there is a hierarchy in our family, and he is the tribal chief, whether we're with him or not. And it's like if I want to be prosperous in my life, in my career, in my family, I have to fall in line. Y'all chose to walk away, and it's still. But I love the fact that with Jimmy and Jay, there was still really no bad blood with Solo. That they still were like, you know what, he tripping, yeah. But they the ones that said that he was going to be the next tribal chief. That they were going to be comfortable with him being that. They just didn't think that his dominance would be even crazier than Roman. But at the same time, it was like, if you think about it, even when they were together, Solo kept trying to get them to get involved. That's why I say I can see Solo with the face run because he kept trying to pull them in, even through War Games. Remember, he didn't want the match. And he kept saying, I want our family back on top. I still love all of y'all, Sammy included, because all four of them were out there. He was like, just join me. And we can take over this company for decades. Solo looked at it like, Roman, you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball. You you left. It's not like you lost and you still was on some, okay, I'm still here, I'm being dominant. You left us and you just didn't give a crap. You just left us to fend for ourselves, but you're supposed to be the leader. Because even though you lost the belt, you were still considered tribal chief, but you left, which is why I was able to get the Ulafala, put it on, and feel like I got to step up for the family because Jimmy, he wasn't so. Roman had already lined it up where Solo was supposed to be next in line anyway. He already dubbed him as that one night when Jimmy was out there and he told him he was gonna be next in line. Well, okay, but you're not around, so Solo was just doing what he was supposed to do. Now that we
Yep,
think
more or
back
less.
on it, he was doing what he was supposed to do. Like you weren't there, so I had to step up. And he figured, regardless whether I like you or whether I love you and we're family, it's time for us to really exert the dominance that we used to, and we need to stop playing around. Which is why he got rid of Jimmy. Jokes aside, we got to come out here and be vicious. That's why he brought in the Tanyas and Jacob, and they were a force. When nobody's touching them.
And the
But
sad part is they didn't have that much level of a good run because of
they should
injuries.
have.
They should
They
have though.
should. That's the thing. It was the injuries. That's what it was because they were dominant. Wasn't nobody messing with them. When nobody messing with them. Like, luckily that Jacob is such this great of a superstar that he embodied everybody in this one package, that he was enough to still carry out the storyline involving Solo, and they were able to bring in, JC and all of that. So that was kudos on Jacob's end for that to be that huge of a superstar. Because when Tonga Loa was out, you still had Tama Tonga, and I'm not even sure what happened with him. Is he injured?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tama Tonga and Tonga Low, both of them are injured.
That's crazy. And I hope that they got a speedy recovery. And stuff happens. We saw that when Bronson Reed even got injured. They got injured in the same match. So it's like, yeah. So hopefully, they recover soon. But yeah, like I was saying, like Jacob was enough to carry it on for as long as it did. I really wish that if they didn't get injured, they would have been taking over. They would have been taking over. But I like the way that they were able to play off of, okay, Jacob's the dominant one. Let's make Solo a little more comedic in a way. Um, that's why I'll be cool if I guess if Jimmy was to join them because that's what Solo been wanting. He has been wanting the family to be involved. Like, and I respect that. I do. He even told Roman, he'll love you. Just join me and we can be that. But man, I don't know. I say that Solo was just a product of what Roman created, Dr. Frankenstein.
That's absolutely the
Because
case.
because he's looking at it like he told him, you ain't when Roman came out there telling him you acknowledge him and the way when he said or else what? And he said you ain't changed. You the same cat. Like you the same guy. If anything, I follow Jolie. I'm what you are times 10. Matter of fact, I'm what you were in the very beginning of the bloodline. Look how he used to talk to them. One thing I can say, Solo did not talk down to the people that were in the bloodline. Roman did
That's true.
to keep them in line.
Yep.
He talked down to Jimmy. He talked down to Paul Heyman. He talked down to
He
Jake.
beat
Never
down
talked to
everybody to get into that.
everybody except for Solo because he knew Solo was that person. Don't play with me. I'm the reason. I'm the what do you call him? The street something. I'm trying to
The
remember.
street champ.
The street champ because they said that it was just said that Solo just grew up, I guess, the whole story a little, and I can understand that because, and I'm not going to say that he didn't. Look at the younger ones, uh, Solo, Jacob, Zilla.
Yeah, they did
They
grow up a little
all
rough.
they grew up rough, and they in real life, and they actually had legal issues, but they've been locked up in real life. So when Solo came on the scene, them going off of that because it actually happened, that made sense in his case because they just like, okay, he was the runt of the family. For one, he's the youngest. He grew up a little different than the others, and he had stuff a little bit, rougher than they did. So that's why he didn't talk much. He coming out there to whoop behind and he gone. So in his case, the street thing worked for him.
Yeah, just for him. Just
Not
for him.
not for the other guy.
But let's carry on.
So
How did that
he
match
does
end?
that. Jacob interferes. Hmm. Well,
Go ahead.
the pretend tribal chief ended up taking it home. He climbed that ladder. He got up there and he got that briefcase.
Seth Rollins won the Money in the Bank as he
Okay.
should have, because had he not won it, this
Yeah,
whole
I
thing he
thought
was
about
doing would have absolutely no legitimacy whatsoever.
it. As soon as he won, I heard your voice in my head. Dead ass. Say that. Because I was upset, but then I'm thinking about it. Who else would I have wanted to win besides Solo? Only reason why I wanted Solo to win because I thought it was still going to add to the issues between Jacob and all of that. I was looking at that. I would have been cool with LA Knight winning because I love LA Knight, always will. Um, Andrade, I don't know. It would have been nice for his career and him, seeing him take off in a different way, but not yet. But like you said, I had to think about it, and I'm like, well, I did say Seth has to win because it just wouldn't make sense if he didn't, because otherwise the whole creation of this group would have just been a flop. And it wouldn't have made
It's
sense.
like,
And then it really would have been he would have been the butt of everybody's jokes and really would have been called a Roman Reigns wannabe because you're trying to win big stuff, but you're not calculating. You're not winning nothing. It's
you're
like
not.
you're just there. Like
So
so now
so
you just become the joke. Oh,
and then everything
and
you
then what?
did over the past week of you stomping everybody that's in the match amounted to nothing.
For nothing. It amounted
So
to nothing. It would just been like, okay, I don't even want to see him come out no more because you can't even win the big one. It I'm okay with him winning because I know there's a bigger picture involved. As soon as I saw him take the briefcase, it just took me in the mindset of when he won it the first time. And that's how the heist of the century was created. But now he is a veteran. He is a future legend, a future Hall of Famer, and he has a different mindset now that he is older and wiser. And I cannot wait to see what he's going to do. All that power he has, that you have it. This already solidifies the rest of this chapter of his career for a year because you hold the contract for a year. So it's like Seth can do whatever he want to do. We don't know when he's gonna cash it in. Um, but I can tell you that when he came down off the ladder, and I saw him with Bronson and with Braun and with Paul, it definitely put me in the mindset of evolution. It definitely gave me Triple H and Evolution vibes. I remember when Triple H first defended the title when he had all of them together and he won. And he's tired from the match. I'm holding him up, putting him on the shoulders, all of that. That's exactly the feel that I got. And to be completely honest, you can't tell me that Triple H didn't feel the same. I think he does see some of himself in Seth. And Seth is
He
so good
has
at
to.
what
He gave him the pedigree.
he has to. He has to. Yeah. Yeah, he has to. And Seth has been on the roll since NXT. You got the approval, the head nod, the stamp from not only Triple H, who created NXT, but from Dustin. Seth already, you knew that Seth and Roman were going to be the future. You already knew it was Seth. It was inevitable. We knew that Seth was going to be there, even in the Shield. Like, all three of those guys are top athletes. But we knew that they put the battery. I don't want to say that because I don't want to use it in the sense that
They
people
strapped
use
the
it. But
rocket. They were strapped the rocket to
there you
Seth.
go. They strapped the rocket to Seth, and Seth took off for a while to the point where Seth never even needed to be the champion to be solidified, to be the main guy. He just was. Like his finishers, all of that, it was calculated when he did the Heist of the Century. That put him up there for sure. So it's like he was already the main attraction. But when Roman got his turnaround and his character change, that skyrocketed bigger than anybody could ever have imagined Roman's career going. And for him to be the fourth superstar, the fourth WWE superstar to have the longest title run in WWE history, and everybody that's before him are people that pretty much paved the way. Nobody in the modern era, nobody even in the Attitude Era. This is going back to the golden era. You're in the group with them. The other three guys before him, like they're not even in the same era as you. This is during your parents' era, and you are pretty much on a Mount Rushmore with them. Roman is that dude. Roman is that dude. And I think with Roman being out of the way, this pushes Seth to have a little bit more of the spotlight because even when Seth was the champion and Roman was the champion at the same time,
It was always Roman.
we knew it was always Roman. I mean, yeah, Monday Night Raw sound good. I love Seth as the champion. He was the workhorse champion. You know he's gonna put on a hell of a match.
I'm not
But
here for you.
Roman
I'm not here for you. We ain't here for you. We here to see Roman.
On
Where's Roman?
Mondays, he had it lit. He had it lit. He had it lit. But if you found out, we found out that because Roman was on SmackDown, that Roman was in the same building on Raw as Seth Rollins. Where's Roman? Where he at? And we were, it's more so that. So I think in a way, they know that with Roman kind of being out for a
Out of
little
the
bit,
picture, we
it
need
gives
somebody.
more eyes on Seth because he needs to build this traction with this group. It wouldn't have happened if Roman was
Absolutely.
there.
And that
It
group
wouldn't
that
have
in
happened.
the group that he has, that needs to be the next crop because
But
Bronson was on great trajectory until he got hurt.
exactly.
Because
Yes, tremendous.
he put Braun out of commission. Then
He put Braun on commission. He even put Seth out
he
for a
put
little
Seth
bit.
out of commission for a minute. He crushed R-Truth, and I still liked him, and that's crazy to me.
He even crushed. Didn't he crush CM Punk?
That was recent. I don't know if that was
Or
before,
was
but
it
it was definitely recent.
It was somebody who he crushed. Who did he crush? It was Drew. Was it Drew?
I think
He
it
crushed
was
somebody in the parking lot on the car.
that was
That was Drew.
that was,
That was Drew because remember CM Punk was walking into the building.
oh
That was Drew.
yeah. That was Drew.
Yep. That was Drew. That was Drew. And yeah, Bronson was on a roll. It was to the point. He's another person. I don't want to look him in the eye. I don't want to look him in the eye. How he's the size that he is, but as quick as he is, that man He hit that tsunami. I don't want it. You can't really brace for that. All that
No,
weight is
nope,
coming
you
crashing
can't.
down on you. You just got to take it.
Basically,
You got to take it. Even they asked Seth in an interview, like, how is it? He said, you have 300 something pounds jumping off the top rope and flying on you. He said, man, that it hurt. He like, you in the back, like your guts, like all that, like, dang,
yeah,
like you can try to brace yourself as much as you can, but he did it multiple times to
multiple times.
mo-
I
do
want to
you
say it
know
was
that it
about
got
10.
it was Oz when he did that? I'm not gonna lie to you. And everybody know if you're watching our show that I am emotional. That really pissed me off because I was just like, I'm
Oh, you
talking
was
so
mad.
bad at the TV. I was very upset
I was,
because I
I
was
was
just like,
like,
at this point, no, because I'm like, why does he keep doing it? I was just like, what up, kids? The security, like, get him. He keeps doing it, and I'm
I
like,
was
now
like,
he's just going off script, and he just trying to hurt him. And then he started bleeding out the mouth. I started crying. I was just
I
like,
was
I hate
like, yeah, yeah, do
you're a sicko.
it again.
You're sick. You are sick.
I was
I
so
said,
thrilled.
no. I was very upset. I can't believe that.
Um,
Oh man. But I think
okay.
that's why Solo was talking to him like, you was with me, now you with this guy? You forgot what you did for him last year? Like you put butt, Seth, playing the long game. Man, that's the one guy that pretty much that took me out. He took me out. Imagine if I got him under my thumb, under my
Yeah,
tutelage, on a point in whatever direction I want. You gonna
go
take
get
out
him.
my. He's smart. He's smart.
So
Because you have to
yeah,
put personal aside, and this is big. Like,
so
forget that.
yeah,
I'm
he
gonna.
and then the fact that he has two people that he can do that with, because he can do that with him and he can do it with Braun. Um,
Man,
but let's
man,
let's
talk
let's
about
get
a
to
super group.
let's get to the main event.
The main attraction. My
This
man showed up looking oh so yummy. Yeah.
I have no stake in this conversation. Um, so it was Cody Rhodes, it was Jay Uso, it was
Yeah.
Logan Paul and John Cena,
Yeah.
and this was another match I had to run in and out of, but I saw the most important part again to me.
Okay. Okay. Now, for one, I really want to go back and watch the entire pay-per-view over again because there is some parts where I was distracted and didn't fully watch it, but I got the gist of it. And that match in particular, I really want to give my whole focus to it. Um, because of the people that were involved in it. First of all,
Yeah,
John Cena, 100%. Jay Uso, Cody Rhodes, like, come on now.
it wasn't
Even
going to be
going
a
as
bad
far as
match.
it wasn't. Even as far as Logan Paul, I know you don't like him, but I respect what he does
I
in the
absolutely
ring. He's great.
loved that moonsault that he hit
Oh
off the
my
apron.
God. I rewinded it 5 times. I rewinded it 5 times because I was just like, it's it's the oh, athleticism of this man that has not been doing this his entire career to be able to hit it so clean. And I was really hoping, I said, please do not move out the way. I thought he was going to get off the table, but he did it and he just made it perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect. I looked at everybody's faces in the crowd like, oh my God.
Because
Say what you want
that's
to say
hard. That's
about
hard to pull off. Like doing it off the top rope, that might be a little bit easier, but you have to springboard off the second
you
rope
have
to
to
do it.
spring forward. You have to have the exact position to do that and to hold your foot because he's tall does not hang up with the ropes. Like you said, top rope is different because it's like you're already up there. There's nothing blocking you
Right. All you
that
got to
can
do is
cause you to
just
slip.
throw yourself. But
He
yeah,
just threw himself, and I believe this is why he did it because there was a moment in the match where he tried to get on the top rope and he did slip. He did slip, and that happens. That happens
yeah,
in the best of
all
them.
the time.
But he said, but he's so quick, and that's why I say Logan Paul is a student of the game. For one, I really believe that he respects the industry. This is why. Logan Paul, like I said before, he's one of those guys that can say, I want to be a pilot. He'll study it. He'll be great at it. He did it with boxing. He's done that before. But it's something about WWE that really spoke to him to say, I don't want to be just a celebrity guest that has matches. I really want to be a contractual superstar. So I'm going to put my all into this because I want to be the greatest at this. So They can't even call him a YouTuber anymore because
Honestly,
now I
because
am I am a superstar.
he's
I'm a
more than willing
WWE.
to do all of this stuff. So like, yeah,
Yes, you know how much courage it takes. Imagine watching it as a kid, as a teenager. Man, that seemed cool, but your life go a different direction and you try stuff. But then you get into it and you just like, okay, this is what I want to do.
yeah,
And you do it.
yeah.
You just show up nowhere and you just do it. And then you're great at it. Matter of fact, you're greater than some of the people that's there. You're sharp. And it's like, ain't what you want about Logan Paul, but Logan Paul is a star. And I remember him saying this, and I believe that it was at the Netflix press conference before the Netflix debut. And I don't want to say word for word, but I'll give you just a summary of what he was saying. And it was a line that really spoke to me. Like, say what you want, say all the proper whatever you want. The fact is, you're watching. You're watching. You're paying attention. So you can like me, you can hate me. You watching me, and you see what I bring to the table. So anybody that be saying they don't like Logan Paul, hell, I got some students that's at my school that can't stand Logan Paul, but you cannot never take away what he brings to the table. The man is the table,
And he
and
put
he's
somebody
definitely
through
going
it.
to be a champion. He put somebody through it, and he definitely has a title in his near future. I'll say that. John Cena gave you the rub.
Give him the Intercontinental Champion.
He don't treat everybody the rub, but he did it with him, and
Do the
he gonna.
Intercontinental Championship, and I'll be okay.
To be completely honest, I'm trying to hold on, pause. Who's the champ? Wait,
Dom?
no, I know. Don't Dom. I know Dom has a title, but I was so used to the two times Dom had a title, it was the NXT North American title. He's the IC champ. Yes,
Yeah.
I can
So
see
if he
that.
took
I
it
can see
off
that.
Dominic, I'm
They're on the
cool.
same show. I'll be cool. I'll be cool, but I know they're not because Dom and Logan actually have an on-screen relationship where they actually like each other. Like they cool, they're friends
Who in
on
the hell
screen.
they would just snake him to just do it? He's like, hey, I want the title.
I don't think he would. No, I don't think he would because of all the people he have issues with, Dom was one person where they literally like, no, this is my boy. Like, so I don't think they would. Dom
But
would
see,
have to do it with
they
someone
could
else
play with that.
in order for him to do it.
They could play with that considering Dominic
No,
basically is a
no,
face now.
not. No, he's not.
He
No, he's
is.
not. He's
But we like
not.
him.
That doesn't mean he's a face. I like
We
I
forced
like
him.
Roman Reigns. We like Roman Reigns, and he was
That's
never a face. He's
true.
not a face. I look at these two. I look at even Triple H. We was rocking with Triple H when he was with Stephanie. Triple H wasn't a face. We just like the fact that he used to beat up Kurt Angle a lot and beat up other superstars. We just like the bad guy.
That's
So it's
that's
like he's not a face.
okay.
Dom has changed nothing about himself. He's been the same consistently since he's been in Judgment Day. We just rock with him because we like bad guys. We like people with an edge.
That's
So
true.
it's like, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
So
yeah, I don't think it would have to be Dom losing it, and I would want Logan to take it off of whoever he loses it to. But 'cause he already got the United States, he got that under his belt already. Um, I don't know if Logan's ego can handle being a tag team champion. We'll see. It depends on who he's with. He'll have to be with someone that I don't want to say someone that has a bigger ego than him because we saw what happened last night with him and John. It
yeah.
was some pushing and shoving going on because it's like John's telling him because John is in his whole, you know who I am? Like I gave you accolades, you're gonna be the future, but right now, who's listening to what I'm telling you? And John was telling him, watch and learn, watch and learn. And Logan, like, yeah, I get watch and learn, you're the greatest of all time, but baby, your time is almost gone. And I'm still gonna be here. So and I know what I'm bringing to the table. You stay in your lane, I stay in mine, I respect you, but definitely was a power trip of egos going on during that match.
And yeah.
And
So
after the moonsault and the springboard
yeah.
into the table, John was able to capitalize in certain situations where he was able to hit the I'm not calling it the AA the FU on on Cody, and then he was able to also get the title to hit him in the head with it. And
And
I
he
thought we
did.
were definitely going to get a repeat of WrestleMania with John pinning him because this is how John Cena has been winning his matches lately.
Yeah.
And then we saw a dark vigilante come into the ring.
It was a man dressed in all black who just
All
happened
black.
to
Couldn't even see
who,
his face.
Yeah, but we definitely saw his back when he came into the ring. Pause. Um,
We did, yeah,
it was a
we
dark
did.
skin. It was a dark skinned man.
We
I
dark
almost called
skinned
him a
fella.
young man, but he looks young, so we could say that. He took off the mask after he beat up John Cena, and it was none other than Ron Killings. R-Truth, ladies and gentlemen, is back in the WWE
He is
72
back.
hours after we all raised hell about them letting him go.
Huh?
And he
Stop
even
playing with
said,
Kenny and stop playing with the
and he
WWE
even said
universe.
that it was us that got him back in there. That he would not
The
respond
power.
to anybody who wanted to talk to him except for Nick Khan, who personally called him and said, "We want
Personally.
you back."
Personally. Personally. Because I get that. And I respect that. Because our truth knows what he brings to the business and he knows how over he is with the fans. And it's kind of like y'all got me messed up. Y'all gonna let me go? Cool. The fans, like you said, definitely brought me back, training for me, all that they telling you. But y'all think y'all gonna send an email? You gonna send a different
Nah.
official, set up a meeting? Nah, the people that let me go, the head person, because like I said, I don't like that Triple H gets so much backlash because it's not him. They're higher ups that he has to answer to. They just look at it. Well, Triple H is the face that we see because he's the boss. No, Triple H is over creative. So what goes on the show, he has something to do with. But if people are being released, I want to believe that Triple H fought for him. I want to believe that. I believe that Triple H is being a team player at the same time. So I believe that's why during the press conference he said that it was a part of the show because you got to go along
And
with it. You
and I
never know what
absolutely
goes.
want to point out that people are like, oh, you. Some people are like, oh, you just mad you got worked. We didn't get worked. That was not a work. That was a shoot. That man got fired for real,
Thank
and
you.
we brought him back
Thank you.
because
He said that
TKO
too.
is trying to ruin wrestling.
Yeah, they posted it. He posted it. He said that. He said, when they said, man, we thought this whole time that he got fired, and they said whole time they was working us. Our truth retweeted it and said no work.
So
It wasn't
yeah,
a work.
it wasn't a work.
So they're confirming it because look at the other superstars. Them showing up with our truth t-shirts, them unfollowing WWE, them even taking WWE out of their bios on their pages in solidarity of screw y'all because I don't think they know too that it's not Triple H, it's TKO, but they own WWE, so it's pretty much like f y'all because why would y'all do that to us? And that's why they had so many tributes to him. And I love the fact that they used their voices as well to write on their pages, to step out of their characters to talk about him, all the way
And
down to
then
even the Judgment League members who
and then
had issues
everybody
with
and then everybody, like anybody who had a mic, had something to say about R-Truth, but they couldn't say
yeah,
it directly. CM Punk said it on Monday. He was like, "Y'all want the truth? How dare you call for somebody who isn't here like they did for him all those years?" Then on Friday, when John had the mic, I want to say it was
okay,
Friday.
okay. I'm glad that you mentioned that because it did not click until you just said it.
Yeah, he was like, "You guys want the truth?"
I remember that, but it didn't click until you just said that it was CM Punk. How dare you not? How dare you chip for someone that's not here? And it was like a, duh, they did it for you too. Okay, because the way that people were trying to spin it
Yeah, they're trying to spin it
on
like
social
he was being
media,
an ass.
yeah, they were just like, oh, he don't care. Why would you say that? No, it's kind of a play on words, a little bit
You
like
got to be a little
y'all
intelligent.
did it for him,
John,
and he's
like
looking at
CM
it like
Punk's intelligent, and he likes people who are intelligent.
very,
He did it for
very,
people who was intelligent.
yeah. So he's like, how dare y'all do that? But it's like y'all did it for him and it brought him back. So he's looking at it like, keep doing it. Because I like the fact that, and that's why I say I believe that Triple H definitely was pulling for him backstage. He's had nothing but good things to say about R-Truth. The same with other superstars who say the type of person that he is, the type of laughter he brings, everything he brings to the company, even behind the scenes, that just makes him the vet that he is, the true legend that he is. The first time I got introduced to R-Truth, I was a kid. He was K Quit, treatment with the Road Dog. So it's like, man, to let him go was crazy. But I know that everybody is so excited and happy to see him back. I
The
know I am.
entirety of us, the entire wrestling community.
Man,
This was the one thing I've seen the wrestling community as a whole be
yeah,
unanimous for. Like, oh no, we
yeah,
don't like this. None of
Yeah,
us
for
like
sure,
this.
for sure. Because I just kept watching the first row of people when he returned, and I'm not gonna lie, when he came out, I really thought it was a crazy ass fan. I thought it was a crazy fan that came out there and just attacked John Cena for no reason. And I'm like, bro, like where's security? Because even the fans' faces were like, who is this? And then who could this be attacking him? They have a mask on, you can't even see their face.
Right.
So when he took it off and he blew the roof off that joint, as soon as he took it off, and it was like he ain't come to smile. He hit John right across the head, and you know, I gotta be rocking with it because everybody knows John Cena is my man. But I was so thrilled to see
Like
him come back. I was even thrilled to see him
I
beat
don't
John Cena up. To be honest.
I don't normally emote how I'm feeling when I'm watching something. I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
Uh-huh.
But like, no, when
Uh-huh.
he came back, I was it was like the biggest
Yeah.
grin. I'm like, he back.
Do you know how big? I woke up this morning. I'm in my friend's house, and she's like, "What you watching on my phone or whatnot?" And I said, "Girl, I just can't believe our truth is back." Girl, this stuff be serious to you. Yes, it is. Do you know how big this is? I'm like, I'm explaining it to her. And I like the fact that even though she doesn't watch wrestling, she was like asking me questions like, okay, so this is this and then that. And I'm breaking it down to her, but I'm like, this is a big deal. Like, this really hit people hard after seeing he was released. That was really an emotional moment for the WWE universe as a whole. Like, why are y'all doing this? Like, this just made no sense. It broke our hearts because it's like this man has been nothing but good
And we loved
to
him. We
everybody.
we
We
watched
loved him.
everything. And anytime he was on the TV
Man,
screen, that is the one time
releasing
because I'll literally be like sometimes multitasking. Like either I'll be drawing, I'll be writing, I'll be doing something. But if R-Truth is on the screen, I'm putting down whatever I'm doing.
releasing our truth to me is equivalent to if they were to ever release my boy Karrion Cross. They release Karrion Cross, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. That right there is another one who's
Had
near
they
and dear to my heart because it's so many signs in the arena. Push Karrion, push Karrion. Like we don't play about
like
Karrion.
what are y'all holding back? That's the thing about carrying. What are y'all holding
I
back
don't, I
for?
don't want
And they
I don't want to raise your blood pressure. I know how you be about Karrion.
I don't understand what they're holding back for. I don't know what trigger they're
Yeah,
waiting to pull. I don't get it
yeah,
because it's clear that he's over.
yeah.
Unless carrying himself is like,
Way over.
let's not give it to him yet. Let's not give it to him yet. Let's not give it to him yet. Because I could see him being the
Man.
orchestrator behind like, we're not gonna give it to him yet. We're gonna have to do it at a
Hmm.
really, really good time. But if it's like creative and they're telling him, no, we're not doing you yet, like what are we holding back on?
I
You
don't
trying
know.
to what you trying to hold
I
off
don't know.
until it dies down? Like what are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know what the heck they're doing, to be honest. Like, y'all had that segment with him backstage with Sammy. We're kind of over
I'm
that
tired of him
aspect of
talking. Like I told you last time you brought him up. I was like, I'm tired of him talking. He needs to hit somebody.
I'm cool with him talking if it's building upon something. Like when they were doing the whole him talking to AJ, talking to Sammy, and anybody he talked to, he wore the same hairstyle as them to a point where it seemed like a mirror effect. Like I'm who you want to be, that dark side, embrace it. So
And it's
it was
like,
making sense.
and that's cool.
But it's like
But you're not fighting
now they
anybody.
treat him.
What are you doing? You're just a character. You're not even a wrestler. You're just
Oh, he fights. He fights. It's
like
just not televised. He fights during the pre-matches. When you first come to the show, when you get there early, got a pre-match, he's fought in those matches. But it's like, stop playing with us. Like we don't. The people at home, we don't know that unless we go on his page or somebody, a fan posted or whatever. Like it's not fair. Put him on TV. I saw a push carrier cross sign last night at Money in the Bank. Stop playing. Stop playing. Like I don't know what you guys are holding back for. And like I said this last week, I always have faith because eventually they come through. We thought our truth was gone. Eventually they listened, they came through. The same way they did they listened about Cody. That was the first time I seen them actually listen. Like the whole we
so.
want Cody.
Hopefully
Cody
this
would
is a
have.
trend that we don't necessarily have to have, and you just do the right thing because You know what the right
because
thing
I
is
know they're
before you
trying
even
to.
do it. Because you knew not to fire R-Truth. You knew not to put
They,
Rock and Roman for WrestleMania, but you did it anyway. And then once we all said we don't want that, we're not paying for that. Y'all were like, okay, we'll put the right thing here. We'll give you R-Truth back. We'll put Cody in the match instead. Like, you already knew that wasn't the thing to do to begin with.
I don't know if what they're trying to do, like again, I try to look at the big picture, is have more fan involvement, which is why I think that they're trying to do the let's take a step back and you see behind the curtains the special on Real that's going to come out soon. Um, because for them to do it twice and to listen to us, even even the push carrying. Once that started going viral after Kyrian did that interview and everybody was like, push Kyrian, stop playing with him. We saw him again. Even though it hasn't been matches, he's still getting on screen time that is like he's not being forgotten as we just don't see him at all. Like, but when we do, he gets that huge pop and he's just backstage. So I want to say they're trying to find the perfect moment because once they do, they got to put a rocket on him. And you got to find the most perfect moment to do it. It's just so much going on right now involved with certain parts. And it's like, I believe that once they do that, that's when it's really going to take off. Like, because there's no telling what they're going to do with our truth right now. Somebody said that ain't our truth. That's Ron Killings right now. It was no funniness. It was just all gas, no brakes in Jacob's voice. It was just him just being serious. And I said this. I said, what if our truth is the one that gets John Cena to be back to himself? He already said, I see it in him. I see it in him. So it's like, is it our truth in this case trying to knock some sense into him? You want to play dirty? I can play dirty too. You are my childhood hero. But now you kind of my enemy, and now I want that person back. But if I gotta, he said, if I gotta beat you to get him back, then I
I will.
will. So it's like, yeah, let's go from there. I want to see if they're still going to keep the same our truth feel, or y'all going to make him more serious. I don't want to see him be more serious. Last night is as serious as I want to see him. Like, I want him to be serious about his mission of whatever
Oh
that
yeah,
is,
of
the
of,
whole
of
wrestling
jumping
thing.
John Cena. That I want him to be serious with. But like he still
Yeah, but
have
not his
his
character.
right, but he
Yeah.
still have his like moments of like I'm stupid. But that's
Like how you was having, I was watching the video when he did with Triple H in the ring, and Triple H was talking to people that weren't there. And you know when our people used to have little Jimmy, he talks to imaginary people,
like
and
who are you
they
talking
came,
to?
and then that's what our people said. He was like, "Man, you crazy? You talking to people that aren't even there?" And Triple H was like, "I know." It's like I'm insane, right? Like you talking to people who aren't even there. So I would be cool. I would be cool with that.
Okay, so that all being said, we talked about Raw, we talked about SmackDown, we talked about Money in the Bank, and the return of R-Truth, Ron
Yes,
Killings, whatever he's going by now,
yes, yes. He has taken over.
and
But,
we are going to see how all of this plays out. Hopefully, Monday
mhm.
Night Raw will be good. We know SmackDown's going to cook.
As
Um,
usual. But I believe right now, R2 being back, Monday Night Raw tomorrow, it's gonna be lit. I think it
Absolutely
is.
has to be
It has to be.
because we got.
Hey, G, still at the same time as me. Blow me eliminated.
First of all, we don't even know that because there might be a lag between when things were said. Anyway, this has
When
been
it get posted, we gonna see
this has
it, and I
been
want my eliminated.
Lights, Camera, Wrestling, LCW. I have been Oz the Alchemist.
It is your girl Lola Love. Make sure that you subscribe, like, share, post, talk stuff. We don't care. I love that when I post, when y'all start arguing under it because it means that y'all into it. So if we cause y'all to do that, keep keep doing it. We love the controversy. We love the drama. Just
And look, man,
let us out.
I drew a new logo. I rebranded
Oh
the
my
page.
God,
I did all of this
and
stuff.
it's so cold. Come on, man. I
We
mean,
working
Roman
out here.
Reigns
We trying
rebranded,
to make
John Cena
something. Come
rebranded.
on,
We rebranded too. We with y'all. We rebranded
come
too.
on.
So it's like get with it. Get
So
with it.
help us out. Help us grow.
Help us out. Help us
But
grow. You won't be disappointed.
absolutely. So we'll see y'all later.